This show is intended for adult audiences. You know, people with bills, backaches, responsibilities, and a functioning sense of humor. It contains strong language, stronger opinions, and the kind of jokes that might send the emotionally fragile into a full-blown meltdown. If you're easily offended, perpetually outraged, or think words are violence, this is your cue to clutch your pearls, grab a blankie, and sprint to your nearest safe space. Or, you know, just get in the sea. We won't miss you. For everyone else, buckle up and let's have some laughs.
Rated D for Dickhead.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body?
I'm gonna come.
Nice tits.
A real set of badonkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros, Baghanaga hooks, humongous hungalonga no logongas.
I want people in the industry to be a little bit louder about people being mean to other people, and maybe say it's not a good thing.
I don't really care, Margaret.
Hello. I'm off. Basically, run.
What's going down, babes? Show me the loving.
Silence! You are too gay to be the doctor.
I'm wonderful, and I'm the most amazing person in the universe.
Exterminate!
Go have a coffee with your marketing team and just terrify them. With the possibility of what's going to happen if they don't give you what you want.
But hey, that's just a theory. A theory.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown.
Why are you running? Let's take some dope.
I am like,
I have had hallucinations on weed before.
if I get that high,
Them babies, Alyssa. Disabilities. I wanted to finish Elden Ring, goddammit.
He's a piece of
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
the reason why DEI was put in place in the first place is incredibly disingenuous racism and sexism, people being discriminated against. This was put in place to try and
Disillusioned young dudes.
white men or straight people. Someone's getting a job over them that doesn't deserve it. People are missing out on jobs that deserve it more than a person who's getting it because they're a woman or because they're black. But these people are making a lot of money, print money, cash,
Money. Well,
capitalism. Raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news. Bad news.
Engines roar through the ash gray skies. The wasteland burns, but hope won't die. Every screen's a twisted lie. watching Will of the Fans. Let's fucking go!
Fucking go! Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. That's right. That was pre-stream preview of the Christmas titty video. That's what's happening now. Well, it's happening if the bar is filled all the way up. And welcome to HyperDrive Time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time again, straight out of hell, and welcome back to Will of the Vans. My name's Will. You know the drill, and it's drive time somewhere, which means it's HyperDrive Time theoretically everywhere. So, ladies, gentlemen, and nothing in between, welcome once again to another voyage of discovery, racing through the wastes of the internet to the further reaches of your sanity on a never-ending quest to rid the universe of absolute bollocks.
What the hell is even that?
Indeedy. And before we set off, please ensure that you keep your brains inside the vehicle at all times with your eyeballs firmly screwed to the screen. Watch out for rogue cars on the road and try to run them off if you see one screaming abuse at any of us. We don't tolerate that kind of bullshit around here. And other than that, it's time for a good old-fashioned show. I say old-fashioned. There's nothing old-fashioned about this. We literally have AI titties up for grabs, so that's not it's not remotely old-fashioned actually. So there we get going. Yes, that's indeed right. If the super chat bar hits the $100 mark today and we hit the red goal, I will be playing the debut of the Christmas titty video 2025. I worked very hard on it, and whoa, it's pretty feisty. There's some stuff in there that I'm pretty sure if I hadn't zoomed in would be getting the channel taken down. So, in fact, I know it would because it's just straight porn. So there's that. Let's enjoy that if we can, and hopefully we can get there. Of course, there's lots of ways to do it. There's, of course, the super chat function, and also there's the goals that we actually have. The 0 out of 5. If you get the $10, you get 5 of them. Then I'll play a bonus titty video. So that's that, but that's really not the primary reason that we are here. The primary reason that we are here is to fix all the things that are wrong with pop culture and politics. So to that end, we will be pouring through some of the worst crap and the occasional good news from the internet as of today, which of course is, for me anyway, the 10th of December 2025. 2 weeks to go, ladies and gentlemen. 2 weeks till Christmas. Are you excited? Are ya? I'm getting there. It's starting to hit me, you know. This is around about this time every year that I start to feel it, start to really get into the vibe, and let myself get swept up in the romance of it all. It's nice. I because of that, I despise people who try to jump in too early, start playing the songs in like October. It's like, bugger off. At least wait for Halloween, for the love of God. It's awful here because they start in September, of course, but it's, you know, it's not been that bad this year. Maybe it's because I've been completely freaking glued to this desk 24 hours a day for the last 2 months or something like that, but it hasn't been bothering me as much as it usually does. Maybe I'm just getting soft in my old age, but regardless of that, there's still plenty of hard around for destroying useless television programs that should never have been made in the first place. We will be talking about The War Between the Land and the Sea. I have seen episode 2. You may have noticed I dropped a review for it. Hopefully I did anyway, about an hour ago. So some people who may be watching that may come and join us straight after this, and if they do, they will be most welcome, and I wouldn't blame them in the slightest because there's an awful lot of crap to unpack from that. Yes, John, I've seen it. I watched it earlier on. I reviewed it. It was awful. It was way worse than the first episode. Way worse. So much more happened, and all of it was either nonsense, cringe, or both. So, oh yeah. Oh, we're right back. We're right back in the summer again now, reviewing Doctor Who. That's how I feel. So there we go. There we go, indeed. It's pretty damn awful. Pretty damn awful. And we'll get into it. But before we do that, let's say hello to the people in the chat. Hello, everybody. How are you today? Derek Smith is here and says pre-liked. That was a good hour or two ago now. Thank you very much for that one, buddy. St. Hugo says he's got to attend a Christmas school Christmas party of his kids. Oh, well, that's cute, man. That's nice. My niece is having a Christmas party soon. I don't know if we have to go or not. Maybe. I don't know. technically she's my niece, not my daughter, so maybe I'm not on the guest list. But, you know, one of these days I will. I have got 2 of my own that will grow up and go to school eventually. And given that they seem to spend more time planning their Christmas party than actually attending to their studies here, I might be looking for a different school for them. But, hey, there we go. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. She is actually at one of the best schools. But have fun at the Christmas party, and yeah, come by a bit later and catch up. We'll be around, no doubt, 2 or 3 hours from now. But in the meantime, he did drop one more for the fans, which I've already added to the bar. So you know, get off my case. That's one more for the Griff Force, one more for the princesses. What a freaking legend! Every day dropping one. Love it. Appreciate it.
Let's go, Griff Force! Doing it for the princesses. Griff Force.
That's right. Thank you very much for that, man. I appreciate you a lot for doing that. And yeah, we will be proceeding with the festivities when and will the bars get filled. He then said, no, that was it. He left. Toasty's here. Hello, Toasty. I'm also working on your video. Don't worry about that, dear. It's happening. And John is here as well. Says, hail all, and hail to you, the problematic white guy indeed. Being all problematic and such, as it wants to be. Now, hang on a second, because I've noticed that we actually have some people watching on Rumble today. That almost never happens. So let's get into that then, I suppose. We also have Roadkill, who is one of the people I was mentioning, who's watching on Rumble. So it's great. If you are watching on Rumble, lucky news, you guys have a like button, so you can like the stream. And if you're watching on YouTube, funnily enough, you guys still have a like button, so you also...
the stream.
Strongly disagree with his taste in women, I guess is I'm supposed to say, but I don't know. Anyway, appreciate you for being here, Roadkill. It's always a pleasure, mate. And he's always a participant in our Jackbox games, which is a lot of fun, usually because he and is it Jen or is it which one of them is the one who's always having a go at Roadkill and vice versa? Don't know. Rhoda says, lurking, I'm listening. Too important for us, are you? No, it's all good in the hood. John says, Merry Titmus. Send those super chats for more titties. Majors Guild immediately does as he's told. What a good lad. For $2 says, hey, black people, where? Okay, I think we're all right. I'm kidding. I have no issue with black people. Losing over 25% between episode 1 and episode 2. Lols. I heard it was 40%. It was quite a significant number, wasn't it? Like about 800,000 people or 750,000 people. It's about 30%, I think. Anyway, there we go. Cookie Kaiju is here. Hello to you as well. Groofus is here. Hello to you as well. And then it's just John and Rhoda spamming the chat. Oh, Rhoda is here now. Great. Rhoda! Love it. Majors Guild for another $2 says, sent 2 DMs with my afterthoughts on it on X. All right. Well, it's always handy to get some extra content. So thank you very much for that. We'll take a look. Why don't we? Hold on a moment. What we got? What have we got? Whoopsie. Oh, they're posts. All right. Stunning and brave, truly riveting storytelling that you missed on Sunday. Oh, that's the plot of all the politicians and corrupt business people standing up and having a big old screaming match against Salt, who very quickly turns into Pepper. Then we've got episode 2, lost around 800,000 viewers from the paltry 2.8 million overnight views of episode 1. Keep in mind they were both available on the same day, so close to a third of viewers checked out after the first episode and missed RTD showing us what he did to Doctor Who. It's interesting. That's the first thing I'll go into really on this episode of HyperDrive Time is the review, the ratings, really, not the reviews. We'll do that in a second segment. There are 2. That's right, 2 segments for the War Between the Land and the Sea. Before that, though, I'll probably just talk about my thoughts on it a little bit more in case I didn't make it clear in the 45-minute review video that I dropped an hour ago. So There we go. And I'm just wondering what the hell's happened to my nose. I seem to have a funny mark on it. Oh, well, shit happens when you're on camera, I suppose. Majors Gale for 2. Thank you very much, buddy. Keep them coming. We'd love to get this bar filled today so I can show you guys what I've been working on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's pretty epic. Even the wife said it's my best work. So take all that what you will. Problematic John says share the stream. That's a good point. Go share the stream. If you follow me on X at Will of the Fans, then share the stream. Just share the damn stream. That's right. Please. And help more suffering war between the land and the sea dabblers find us so that they can have their brains corrected. And Rhoda says 25% is the IQ you drop watching it, right? I think so. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I lost. Well, I don't know. Let's see. What's 25%? It's about 35 points or so. So Jesus. There you go. That's pretty bad. That's pretty fucking bad. Anyway, what else we got? Sardox here. Hello, my Smeegs and Gay Waters. Where? Those bastards. Don't want them here. It says Will seems lucid despite that. Well, Will has been taking DHA gummies to make sure that his brain doesn't suffer too much, you know, as a result of watching the war between the land and the sea. You know, got to keep that grey matter up. I've also been eating fish every meal, you know. It's been good. It's been good. Just got to keep the IQ going, guys. I also completely dropped alcohol from my diet, but that was because I was fat, not because I was trying to save my brain cells. I never gave much of a crap about them, really. But I give enough of a crap about them to say that the war between the land and the sea is literal brain cancer, and you should not watch it. Ever. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. It's on my Plex at the moment. My wife was like, "Whoa, what's this?" I said, Don't watch that. Don't watch it. It will make you stupid. Don't show it to the kids. I want them to have good working brains. Problematic John says so much transanity in that second episode. Yeah. It was at least 20, 50, 30, 40% more trans bollocks than in the first episode. I mean, the first episode had the mention of the pronouns for the son-daughter or daughter-son. I don't know. And then the second one, we, of course, had literally Salt transforming into a male, or what we would call a male, I guess, because their species can do that, or her species can do that. I don't know. Can they all do that? Because why didn't they ever do that before? In fact, why would she go around conducting herself as a female? You know what? That doesn't actually make any sense at all, does it? Because she's laying eggs. She's laying eggs and then turning into a male. So does that make her able to breed with herself? Because if you can, like, change, surely you can lay the eggs and fertilize them yourself and create basically clones. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all, does it? You know what? Let's just kill them all and eat them. Kill the fish. Hashtag Homo Aqua. Anyway, there we go. Rufus says my favorite sushi is eel. Is that technically a sushi? Is that sushi? There's a really good eel restaurant not far from where I live. Derek Smith says, is it a clownfish? Well, as long as it's not Clownfish TV, because those guys are awesome. And they shouted me out. So good for them. Shout out to them too. Possibly. Just like a frog. Yes, indeed. They apparently can change their gender, and that was being promoted. That's what Alex Jones was talking about when he said they were turning the frogs gay. Turns out he was right. Just in a manner of speaking. James OP, nice to see you here, buddy. Don't go anywhere. Chris Stubbs is here, says Aqua Greta is very narcissistic. Yes, she is. Aqua Greta, that is really good. That's really good. I like that a lot. Greta Saltberg. Yeah, fuck them. They grow what they need. Yeah, we don't. And Groofer says unagi. Yes, unagi. Indeed. You are always aware. No, that's just a Friends episode. It is actually, yes, it's an unagi restaurant. Yes, indeed. Mr. Sardog for £2 says not clownfish, worse. Spam fish. Indeed, buddy, indeed. More spam for the princesses, more spam for the fans, more spam for the Christmas titty video, which is sitting literally a press away. When we get this bar filled up with red, blood for the chud god, blood for the chub, I will press play and you guys will see something pretty good. Something pretty damn good. certainly the naughtiest Christmas you'll have this year. So hope to see you. Spam, 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 spam. I don't want any more spam. That's right. Well, I do. So fill the bar. Anyway, there you go. That's enough grifting, don't you think? Shameless, isn't it? I'm sure I'm going to summon an insane Russian lunatic soon to have a go at me for it. Like, I have no doubt. Like, I have no right to ask, hey, maybe I could get paid for my work. Nah, that would be insane, wouldn't it? Anyway, here we go. Let's see. We've got everybody here now. It's a good time to start talking about some freaking topics. So if you are liking the stream, make sure you like the stream. It does help pick up some lost souls along the way. And of course, your in-flight entertainment can be found by hitting the join button. Joining the Grift Force helps keep the ship in the skies, gets us closer to the next game of Jackbox, audience participation and all that. And if you have any questions, comments, or you're just here for the boobies, fill up the red bar and let's keep going. Tip your driver. With all that said, let's get into the first freaking topic, which of course is the war between the land and the sea. A total shit show. I'm starting to think, should I bring the episode up on the screen? Should I bring the episode up? Oh, fuck it. Let's bring the episode up on the screen. I wasn't gonna, but why not? We did it last time. Oh, God, mute it. God, no, please, no. All right. And let's change the Windows setup. God, you see how fucking professional I am. I wasn't even ready, but it's kind of a last minute thing. Last minute decision to change things up a little bit. Hold on a moment. We'll get it on the screen. Where are you, you bastard? Come on. I see you. Where are you? Literally, where are you? You're not there. You've gone. Where are you? This is weird. I can't see it. The episode's gone. It's vanished. It's nowhere to be found. What's going on? It's literally disappeared. I can't find it. Oh well, fuck it. Well, we won't bother them. We'll just do something else. We won't bother with that then. But the episode was absolute trash. Absolute trash. Literally the first moment of it was just hugely embarrassing to behold. You got the recap, of course. The recap comes in and it takes about a minute, and all it successfully does is remind you that nothing happened in the first episode. Like nothing. It's really like, wow, you guys really didn't miss much, did you? And then you sort of realize that this the first episode was just a load of filler so they could get to the big stuff. Now, the big stuff in this episode really is not until about the halfway point. The first half of it is just people meeting each other. So it's more of the first episode, really. It's Kate meeting Barclay. She doesn't like him. Then she does like him. He does his sort of, I don't really know much about this, but I did have a goldfish once. Which, you know what? I don't know why, but it seems to work. Maybe it's that I'm starting to look a bit like Russell Tovey as I get older. You know, he does a decent job of making it clear that he cares, but he doesn't know what he's doing, so he will need help. But then on 2 occasions he goes rogue, and if he were anyone else, he would have been really severely punished, probably electrocuted by Kate Lethbridge Stewart. She would have gone full-blown freaking Hassan on his ass, because she was up for doing that with that Conrad guy before, that I couldn't even remember his name until recently. But you know, no, they can't do much. They can't go Hassan on him. Because unlike Kaya, he has rights. But it's not that. It's because they need him. Now, of course, the other thing that you get in this episode is probably the most annoying thing about it in general for me, beyond the inexplicable storm of plastic garbage that rains down onto the cities of the world, even though that happens. And by the way, how? Like, literally how? How did that happen? There's no like connective scene that shows you how they've done it. They go, would you like us to help you with the depollution of the oceans? And it's like, yes, please. So she laughs, and then, oh, it starts falling from the sky. There's no connective tissue. You have no idea how they did that. How are they this powerful? And if they've always been this powerful, why haven't they been doing this since the beginning of time? Why have they not just thrown back any trash that is in the oceans? Have they done it out of respect for humanity? Because if they have respect for humanity, where did it go? Like, what happened? Is it because one of them got killed by a fisherman? the more you start to think about it, the more the entire premise doesn't make sense. Why here? Why now? Why have they suddenly decided that now is the time that they've had enough? Why? Oh, because RTD said so. That's why. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. So there's that. That's a real big issue with the episode and the plot in general. The fact that they have this level of threat, that they have this ability to rid the oceans of all of our garbage, and yet they haven't. I'm pretty sure if we had started manufacturing plastic and throwing it into the ocean and then it just kept falling down on us from the sky afterwards, don't you think we would have probably stopped quite a long time ago? Why did they wait till now? Why did they wait till it was killing their children to do something about it? And they don't respect humans, so why are they coming for diplomatic peace talks when they literally don't care enough about us not to then suddenly drop the trash on us all now? If they could always have done that, why weren't they doing it from the beginning of time? It makes no fucking sense. RTD, you're a goddamn hack. Another reason that RTD is a goddamn hack is because, of course, he can't do this without having a go at the political right wing, specifically the alternative right wing to the Tories, which, of course, would be Reform or MAGA or us. In which case, that then means that, because I've just embraced it now, I'm going to be called alt-right for the rest of my life, and I might as well just say I am. Yeah, fine. Alt-right is libertarian. Fine. More or less the same thing. So, okay, I'm alt-right then. Good for you. Fine. Alt-right is definitely the true progression of mankind. But anyway, the point is that in his universe, of course, he's already set up a political party called the Albion Party that we know all about in the future because it causes nuclear wars in 2042 in an episode that doesn't actually make any fucking sense and is also impossible to stop, because in order to stop it, you have to ensure that you end up being Ruby Sunday and going through the whole of 73 yards only to try and undo it at the very end, which stops it from happening, which guarantees nuclear war, which, oh no, my brain hurts. I guess I need another DHA gummy. But so that doesn't make sense either, of course. But the other thing, of course, is just simply the fact that the whole point of the Albion Party is just so that he can have some hoity-toity, angry, ranting, xenophobic, borderline genocidal, toffee-nosed Etonian wanker with a bald head and specs to stand around to be a stand-in for some sort of British version of Donald Trump, because it sure as hell ain't Nigel Farage. That much is definitely true. So I'm saying this is once again a total misunderstanding, and now this worthless piece of televisual trash counts as leftist propaganda, even more so than just beyond the obvious environmental and transsexual fucking messaging. Now it's actually having a go at right-wing people. So get in the sea, Russell. That's another thing you can go kick your ass with. Oh, another one is when they tried to make Russell Tovey drink a glass of water from the River Thames. I would like anyone who is in London or knows anyone in London, to go down to the River Thames and get a glass of water and tell me if it looks as fucking wretched and filthy as the water that they brought in that glass from the Thames in the show. Because I've got a feeling it won't be anywhere near that bad. It won't be great, but it will be nowhere near as bad as that. If the Thames was literally full of that level of fucking pollution, people would be dying. They'd be dying because it would be a giant cesspool of disease. If even one glass from the Thames contains E. coli, dysentery, Legionnaire's disease, and whatever the other thing was, you are a diphtheria or something like that, you are definitely going to be getting airborne viruses that would wipe out London. You're insane. So there's that as well. That didn't make any sense to me. I hope I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Then there's the fact that the wife and the daughter do almost a complete and total 180 on this guy the second he becomes famous, which is so superficial, and yet it's played for laughs. It's like, oh, so his bitch wife who said he can't even assemble flat pack furniture is suddenly attracted to him again because now he's a person of actual interest, a person that the whole fate of the world relies on, offers him a glass of wine and then asks, well, so what's your fishy ambassador like then? Oh, she's not a fish. She's really special, actually. Oh, mate, fuck off. Hepatitis as well. Yeah, there you go. It's cringe. It's cringe beyond all recognition. So the wife now is jealous because he has a fish girl who is threatening to exterminate all life on Earth except if she can talk to him. And there's been no indication whatsoever that there's any kind of budding romantic relationship between them, though I am still hedging my bets that I'll get to call it Wet Side Story before the end of the show's run. I do think, though, that that is about all of the relatively sane stuff that happens in the episode. Then after that, you've got, of course, the rain of plastic, that comes down and literally is logistically impossible for a bunch of sea creatures to have that ability unless they're all like super powered or something, and they can just summon the trash, shoot it up into the sky and create a storm of it that only targets these cities. How are they doing it? I don't know. Maybe we will get to see, but for now it makes absolutely no sense for a bunch of people who live 5 miles down, 5 miles down under the sea to have control over the sky. All right, we don't have control over the sky, and we live closer to it than they do. So then there's the completely outrageous proposition that they want the borders between the land and the sea to be at the land and the sea. So in other words, we might as well live in a cylinder around our landmass, where if we take one step into the water, we are encroaching on their border. That's not going to work, man. There is only one way out of this, and it is to wipe out the fish, which I don't think you can do. If the Doctor showed up, he'd just give them their own planet or something. But he's not going to do that because, of course, David Tennant is alive and in London in this situation and has done absolutely nothing whatsoever about the fact that now it is raining trash. At no point did the Doctor or the TARDIS show up in Imperial fucking house and walk out and go, hello, just wondering, why is there a Ford Fiesta on my roof? You know, something like that. That would have been kind of funny. You know, you could see David Tennant pulling that off. It would have been all right and possible too, because again, he's alive in London with a TARDIS. Russell, your bi-generation bullshit is really, really starting to catch up with you now. Why did you do that, you fucking muppet? Anyway, there you go. There's that. And then, of course, you get the fact that in the rain of plastic, somehow now large chunks of buildings are flying through the air as well. I guess maybe large chunks of buildings ended up in the ocean somehow. Maybe it's Atlantis. Who fucking knows? Anyway, it just happens that the taxi that Tovy's wife and daughter, I'm going to keep calling her his daughter because that is clearly a female, they're in and it gets hit and kills the taxi driver. Everyone else seems to escape unscathed, although they seem to be crashing a lot. But bits of buildings landing on cars, I don't know, it just seems a little logistically unlikely for me, even in a storm of pollution. Then there's the fact that at some point in it becomes really clear that Barclay as a character is not in any way on the side of mankind, and literally every single time he goes rogue, every time he goes off script, he throws the entire human race under the bus in favor of the fish. It's like, okay, so you really should just take this guy out before he's, sells the land to the fucking sea devils or something, because seriously, this guy has no fucking sympathy for the humans at all. It's only when he gets back onto the script that he starts saying, well, you guys have actually opened fire on us. But hey, whatever. Then, of course, there's the fact that in one of these massive tirades, he actually throws the whole species under the bus, except for the kids. The kids know all about it. The kids are so much cleverer than all of us. I'm sorry. Children get everything that they know about the world from the generations before it, and they have a propensity to make up bullshit that they think is better, and that ultimately is logistically completely impossible. And they call that, well, we call it wokeness. They do not know better than their elders, and to say that they do is completely fucking insane, especially when you're in the hotel room and you get a look at Barclay's daughter, who is morbidly obese. Neither of her parents are morbidly obese, but if she's so fucking great and perfect and wonderful and better than all of us, how come she's a fat fuck? I'm waiting, Russell. You would think that a person like that, who's all into, preserving nature and oh, we shouldn't be doing all this, man, I'm a hippie and all that. Hippie's not a word anymore. Sorry, love, it is. You'd think somebody like that would also have an idea how to control her own fucking body mass index. But apparently not. Apparently not. I can do that. She can't. But we're supposed to look to the kids for answers, are we? Fucking terrible idea. If that ends up being the thing that solves the fucking crisis, I am done with this fucking planet. Then, of course, you get the fact that the Albion Party calls the Homo Aqua a bunch of monsters, which they are. That is what they are, yes. Yes. They have been monsters in the past, and they are monsters now. By our reckoning, by any recognition or any classification of the human species, they are monsters. They are xenophobic, demonic-looking fish people who want nothing more than to wipe us off the face of the planet. And I don't think that it's going to do you any favors to be diplomatic about this. They are fucking monsters. Kill the fish. Hashtag kill the fish. Hashtag Homo Aqua. And last but not least, I suppose the big, stupid, crazy thing in the episode is the fact that the Titanic ends up in New York as part of their deluge of garbage. I just think that's really like cringe, frankly. Like, why is that a thing? Why was that? Yeah, okay, it's a cool spectacle, I suppose, but it's really not something that would ever happen it would be impossible. How did a bunch of fish get the technology to raise the fucking Titanic, and why have they never done it before? Again, why have they never done it before? Why have they never done any of this before? If they're older than we are, when did they come out of hibernation? The 1970s or something? Why? Why have they not done this then? Why did they not do this to us before? It's fucking insane. Why are they not invading China, which pollutes like 4 times at the rate of every other country on the world? In fact, has produced as much pollution as the rest of the world since 1950. And yet they're only in the show for a brief second. It shouldn't be happening primarily in England. It should be happening in China. But there you go anyway. Last but not least, I suppose, is the third term. They want fucking Russell Tovey's Barclay to go under the sea, 5 fucking miles, and talk to her in the next episode, which raises the question, is he going to have to take Zoidberg's ridiculous pressure suppository? Or is it Farnsworth's suppository? And are we going to have to get a 10-minute scene of Barclay squatting on a giant egg-sized suppository just so that he can go underwater without being crushed to death by the pressure? Because Futurama references are cool. Bow ties are not. But there we go. Anyway, Kate says their civilization is thousands of years old. Yes, indeed. Instead of 100 million, they are primordial. They went into hibernation. They've been around since like the reptilian phase of the fucking domination of the planet. They're effectively dinosaurs, just like the Silurians, except that they're aquatic. That's basically the only difference. Yeah, end of the day, stupid. I mean, the problem with this isn't necessarily, I mean, there's lots of problems with this. That first of all, the ideological problems are absolutely ludicrous, but then there's just the literal physics and logistics of what Russell has actually had happen here. It's impossible. It would not happen. It will never happen. I mean, there's no race of species. I mean, there's another one. There's another random, just little tiny things that happen in this episode. Like, for example, when Kate Lethbridge Stewart decides she's going to go and have a little chat with Salt, because she doesn't want Barclay to be the ambassador. She tries to reason with her, like, come on, we need to give you someone who's like qualified to talk, you know? And she says, no, we're only going to talk to them. She says, but we need you to be able to like have someone that you can trust, you know, who can get things done. She says, trust? If you want about trust, why are you talking to me in the night, having a secret meeting in the dark? Why does this fish person who lives 5 miles beneath the surface of the earth, 5 miles further down where the sun never touches, why does this fish know about the dark? Why does this fish know about the connotations of doing things in the dark, being secretive or mysterious or scary? Why would that fish have that preconception? It's fucking stupid. It is absolutely ludicrous. And then, of course, there's the fact that Kate was in fact going to have like she had a big old makeout session with the fucking with the Arab soldier. Oh, and then there's the fact that the guy said some Arabic proverb bollocks, and she said it's wise. Very, very wise. Once again, it's just as long as you're not English, you are officially wise, especially if you're Arabic. If that's the case, then why are their countries fucking shitholes? Literally fucking bullshit. Every single aspect of this show from start to finish was absolute bollocks. I gave it 2 out of 10, literally for existing and being distributed. I can't say anything else. And I can't wait for the episode 3, actually. To be honest, I think I'd rather they just dropped them all. I could do 1 a day and then I'd be done. This way I have to wait till fucking Christmas to be done with this shit. But oh well. At least we'll have a lot of time to watch titties in the meantime. But there we go. That's basically it, I think. If you guys have anything that you want to add about this episode of The War Between the Land and the Sea, kindly super chat it to me and I will be very happy to discuss it with you. But before we do that, I'm going to get into my first proper segment of the show, which would be about the ratings. Because how sad is this, man? How sad. Anyway, all right. So the war between the land and the sea, as what am I trying to say? The war between the land and the sea has pulled off a truly impressive feat. I know you're thinking it's the cringiest TV show on TV right now, and you'd be correct. Yes, it is. It's capable of spamming you in the face with plot points that make no sense, ludicrous contrivances, and GCSE level writing. Yes, also quite impressive feats, but not as impressive as managing to hemorrhage about a third of its audience between episodes 1 and 2, which of course broadcast as a double bill. That's not a drop. That is a demolition. Definitely. They tore down those ratings faster than Unit were able to tear down and rebuild Imperial House in the show. You almost have to admire the efficiency. And yet, in the funniest twist imaginable, this limp, preachy Doctor Who spin-off actually opened higher than the main show. Yes, the series without the BBC's prized hyper-theatrical glitter bomb-toting Doctor somehow started stronger than the flagship. That tells you absolutely everything you need to know about how fed up audiences are with the direction of modern Who. A show without the Doctor got higher ratings than any single episode with Ncuti Gatwa in it. But then episode 2 aired, of course, and reality hit like a wet mackerel. Flump. People tuned in once, realized they were watching RTD's soggiest lecture series ever, and noped out faster than a sea devil changing mid-tantrum into the opposite sex. Honestly, I'm not surprised. This is what happens when you choose ideology instead of entertainment. And they still haven't learned that. Then that actually might be the most impressive feat of all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the radioactive times, the propaganda arm for the propaganda arm of the government of the UK. The war between the land and the sea overnight ratings revealed for double bill premiere. You are going to see some grade A, top choice, 100% minted gold platinum tier copium in this article. So I hope you are ready to stir the porridge. The double bill premiere saw the military organization Unit forced to deal with the arrival of an ancient species. An ancient species they already know about. Yep. Anyway, whatever. The overnight ratings have been revealed for the double bill premiere of The War Between the Land and the Sea. Stupidly long title. And also, of course, let's not forget, it's really called Get in the Sea or Wet Side Story. Now, the Doctor Who spin-off, which is created by Rusty Tin Dildo, arrived on BBC One on Sunday, the 7th of December, and it's off to a strong start. A strong start.
You liar!
No. An average of 2.82 million viewers. A strong start. An average of 2.82 million viewers. That for Doctor Who, before Ncuti Gatwa, would have been considered among the lowest viewing figures ever in the show's history. And I mean all of the show. That would have been considered one of the most disastrous ratings you could have possibly got only a few years ago. But unfortunately, it is no longer the case, because we do have the current season of Doctor Who, the last two behind us. And, well, let's have a look. You may have forgotten, and I do have a handy-dandy spreadsheet, but so does DoctorWhoTV.co.uk. Let's have a look. Right. These are the Gatwa episodes, okay? We got 2.6, 2.4, 2.0, 2.6, 2.1, 2.1, 2.0, 2.2, and of course the special 4.1, but that's Christmas. And if you compare it to previous Christmas specials written by Russell T Davies, you got as high as 11 or 12, was it even 13, I think, once million live viewers for a Doctor Who Christmas special. So 4.1, pathetic. Pathetic. Now, of course, we only have the overnight ratings right now for The War Between the Land and the Sea, so I'm only comparing to overnights. Now, let's move on to the current year, as they love to so much, and have a look again. 2.0, rough start there, guys. 1.5, 1.8, 1.5, 1.6, 2.5. Oh, yes, of course, that was the episode that was sandwiched in between the Eurovision Song Contest and the FA Cup final. And 1.8 and 2.17 for the last Christmas special, which was fuck. Oh, no, wait, that wasn't. That was the other Christmas special between. So 2.17 was literally the end of the series. So that's where we're at. At no point in the overnight ratings did Doctor Who get 2.8 million viewers. The War Between the Land and the Sea is now the most successful thing that Russell T Davies has done for Doctor Who in the Whoniverse, except for not counting Christmas. And that was written by Stephen Moffat. So actually, as it goes for RTD, this is his personal best in the current era of Doctor Who. His personal best. Abysmal. Well, an average of 2.05 million viewers tuned into the second installment. Woo. That's not good. That's not good at all. So we lost 770,000 viewers between episode 1 and episode 2. Now, we don't have minute-to-minute ratings, by the way, because there's every chance that people tuned in, watched for 5 minutes, registered the highest point of the entire episode, and then disappeared, so that by the time they clocked it, the high point for episode 2, that's how many people were still left. And that number probably got way, 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 way lower than that before the end. But then that's how they always measure overnights, so we just go with the numbers anyway. So effectively, the most important thing about me bringing that up is to point out that this is not a consistent number for the entire episode. Just like what happened with the first 2 episodes of series 114 or 40 with Ncuti Gatwa, where they lost 200,000 people in between the first and second episodes, which were also a double bill. And I was touting that as the end of days back then. You lost 770,000 people from 2,800. Holy shit. You lost like more than a quarter of them. That's really bad. So there you go. These figures bettered the overnight ratings of any episode of Doctor Who from season 14 or 15. So is that why you said it was a strong start? Because honest to God, calling any of this a strong start is just 100%.
Coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is it's scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
So there you go, barring the Christmas specials, although it's worth noting the new spin-off has a different release model. What's different about it? 2 up front, 1 every week after that. It's exactly the same as Doctor Who. You're full of shit. While season 15 saw episodes dropping at 8. Oh, wait, yeah, it's actually, yeah, I suppose what they mean by that is the fact that it was on iPlayer before it was on TV, but then they counted the iPlayer ratings later, and they weren't that impressive. On average, 1.5 million plus 7 plus all screens. So 7 days, all screens, the most you could get was a 2.6 turning into a 4.01. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. But of course, in a few days, we'll find out anyway, won't we? By Monday of next week, we'll have a good idea of exactly what that release model's effect on all of this was. But before that, there really isn't much else to say other than that the show is felted. These things rarely ever get back up to where they were on that first viewing. This will probably be a high point from here on out, which should be no surprise to anybody because the show is utter shit. Absolute, utter, unforgivable garbage. Preachy to the unbelievably nth degree, riddled with logistical and physical impossibilities. Not just in like a way that's like supposed to be magically Doctor Who-y kind of thing. No, we're talking here a bunch of sea creatures that live 5 miles down being able to rain trash on cities from the sky. And not having chosen to do it before, despite having been around for decades at this point. Also, just a fun fact. David Tennant is around and has done nothing about this. Another fun fact. Another episode with the Sea Devils, of course, takes place in about 60 years from now. And we're still calling them Sea Devils, and we have no respect for them, and no one has any idea that this ever happened. Which is probably the best way to treat this show. Just pretend it never happened. All right, guys, there you go. Thank you for that one. That was segment 1 for the, well, I guess segment 2, but, you know, recording 1 for the War Between the Land and the Sea. Fucking cope, fucking cringe, unbelievable shite. Seems we got a couple of super chats in while we were doing that. And appreciate you guys. We are at 1267. When we get up to the full bar, new Christmas titty vid. That's right. Been hard at work on it. It's done. It's pretty damn good. I'm really quite proud of it, despite the fact that morally, you know, never mind. Majors Guild says, where are we? This one, $2 says, almost as if Ncuti Gatwa was a drag on Doctor Who ratings. You take that back, sir. That's an outrageous point to make. How dare fucking hell. Ncuti Gatwa, yeah. Ncuti Gatwa was Ncuti Gatwa remains the low point overall. I just can't, you know, like I can't convince myself even now that as bad as this appallingly bad show is, that it is even close. It's like a slug racing a fucking Formula 1 car. You know, it's genuine. It's like the new Ferrari versus a slug. That's the difference between the amount of awfulness of this show and 10 minutes of Ncuti Gatwa. Ncuti Gatwa is so unbearable. I genuinely don't think I could ever stand to watch him again. Like I think the only reason I managed to before was because my dad was watching with me. And now he's sadly passed away. If Ncuti Gatwa ever releases another thing of Doctor Who and I have to review it, I've got to go solo. And I don't know if I can tank that. We'll find out, I suppose. But thanks for the $2, mate. Appreciate you very much. Yeah! Furious Dan for 2 says, shout out to you, Will, and shout out to you, Dan. Furious Dan doing glorious work with AI and different from what I do. I do lots of things. You guys only really get to see the Guna shit that I do, but I do quite a lot with AI for my wife and some other projects too. Recently recreated the Balrog versus Gandalf fight in AI, and that was really cool. So that's something I'm doing. And but he's doing like anime shots and fucking really cool fight scenes and stuff. So go check that shit out as well. And shout out to Furious Dan for the 2. Yeah! Appreciate you. Majors Guild for another 2 says still no D+ release date, but hearing February. Yes. February is the tentative release time for the War Between the Land and the Sea. I don't know why. I think it might be for like tax reasons or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have a quick check because I want to have some idea why they're not doing it at the same time. I think the reason they aren't doing it at the same time might be, no, that doesn't even make sense. I was gonna say because they're not stepping on toes or something like that, but that doesn't actually make any bloody sense, does it? I don't know. I think it definitely is for a money reason. I just don't know what that money reason is, but then neither do I understand Disney. I mean, they are one of the worst companies in the world. That went white really fast. But there you go. Thank you, Majors Guild, for the $2. I have no idea, but as soon as we do, we'll probably tell each other and it'll all be good. Yeah! Incidentally, this episode of The War Between the Land and the Sea was written by Pete McTeague. And if you know what I know about him, you will have a lot of fear in your heart for any potential future of Doctor Who. So there's that. But to be fair, I have no fucking hope for Doctor Who anyway. Anyway, there we go, guys. Thank you very much for helping to fill the bar up. It is the goal of the stream is to get to this $100 and we can get new Christmas titty vids for you guys. Who is Pete McTeague? He wrote Pete McTeague, Doctor Who. Is it Kablam that he did? I can't remember. Yeah, he wrote Kablam, Praxius, with Chris Chibnall for the 30th Doctor. Oh, and he wrote Lucky Day. That's Conrad. You know, with the Doctor showing up at the end and being a piece of shit to him. And as far as I understand it, he was at one point and may still be in contention for the role of showrunner. Which would be not good. Possibly better than RTD, but not good. Because he wrote this episode. It seems that, you see, the people that RTD was having write for him 20 years ago were a lot better than the people writing now. And I include in that Mark Gatiss, who I've never appreciated as a writer outside of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I never enjoyed his Doctor Who episodes, apart from one. I can't remember which one. Let's have a look. Fuck it. We don't get to do this very often. Doctor Who seldom comes up, does it? What has he written? Which episodes did he write? I know he acted, of course, in the Lazarus shit show. Yeah, he played and wrote Dr. Lazarus in the Lazarus Experiment. He acted in The Wedding of River Song and in Twice Upon a Time. That's right, he was in 3 times. That's how much he and Moffat are best mates. He's another one of the old Fitzroy crowds who have been no good for Doctor Who, really, whatsoever. I'm trying to think what he wrote, though, just what he wrote. I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going. Performances. Not actor. Don't want actor. Want television. We want writer. He wrote The Unquiet Dead. Didn't like it. The Idiot's Lantern. It's okay, but I didn't really like it. Victory of the Daleks. Yikes. Yeah, he was on Sherlock too. Better at Sherlock. Victory of the Daleks, of course, the episode where they rebranded and started to look like Power Rangers. Night Terrors, that's one that's totally forgettable. I can't remember it at all. Which Doctor was it? Series 6. God, was it? Awful. Cold War, was that the one that brought the Ice Warriors back? Because that was fucking awful. The Crimson Horror, also terrible. Robot of Sherwood, that was the one that was blatantly a Matt Smith episode that they crowbarred Peter Capaldi into. That actually wasn't terrible. That wasn't so bad as the rest. Sleep No More, the single worst episode of Doctor Who ever, in the modern run anyway, I think. That's the one? Yeah, that's the one with the fucking sand in your eyes. Fucking God, awful. And Empress of Mars, which he wrote once again for a... I don't even remember it. I don't even remember that episode. Was that series 10? I think so. Whatever. Anyway, I never really liked him, but I tell you what, I'd reckon he'd be a better showrunner than anybody else at this point. I can say that. But there you go. Anyway, we have more to get on with. We do. So let's get into it. And keep the super chats coming, guys. Thanks. Okay, let's see. Let me keep you furnished with things to chat about. All right, let's begin. Here we go again. It's another war between the land and the sea. So buckle up. The war between the land and the sea managed to rack up a pile of BBC complaints within minutes of the episode's first airing. And for once, it wasn't about the bold representation choices or showrunners who pat themselves on the back for inserting trans ideology and all that rubbish in there. I mean, that's why I'd be on the phone complaining. But no, actually, most people who would complain about that gave up on the Whoniverse, if you want to call it that, years ago, which is why the ratings have been so abysmal. You would think that people might be kicking off over that very on-the-nose reveal at the 3-minute mark, especially given how heated that whole topic is in the UK right now. I'm talking, of course, about the fact that the main character's daughter is called a male name and has they, them pronouns. But no, the outrage was not actually ideological. It was technical, as in they literally made the show unwatchable. Within moments of the show beginning, viewers were blasting the BBC because the sound mix was so atrocious that if you had a decent speaker on your TV, the music drowned out the dialogue like, well, a nightclub drowning out a drunk confession. You couldn't hear anything, not the plot, not the cringe, not even the preachy, awful messaging shite. Just noise, peak BBC, preachy, clumsy, and of course, traditionally incompetent. Glorious. So we have, of course, first of all, to begin this, a couple of reviews that we covered on WTF Live, but I want to go over a few of them again because we've got this scathing piece from the Daily Mail, which just the ugliest website on the internet. Not surprising, really. It was a terrible newspaper as well. Christopher Stevens reviews The War Between the Land and the Sea woke, repetitive, and stultifyingly dull. This Doctor Who spin-off is a travesty. Help us, Doctor. Oh, God, no, we don't want the Doctor. We don't want the Doctor. Go away. Go away. We do not want Ncuti Gatwa at all. It says The War Between the Land and the Sea is a Doctor Who spin-off, minus the Time Lord himself, since the last actor to fill the role, pinstripe-skirted Ncuti Gatwa, chucked it unexpectedly after just 2 seasons. No, mate. No, he was fired. The classic serial has been petering out for years with only occasional flashes of cleverness and excitement amid the unrelenting wokeness. But Doctor Who without its main character is far worse, simply astoundingly bad. Most of the opening double bill consisted of static, repetitive negotiations between Russell Tovey, playing a low-grade civil servant called Barclay Pierre Dupont, and a sea woman with sparkly blue skin and fins for ears. He says woman, but we all know. Her name is Salt, Gugu Mbatha Raw, and she can change sex at will. That's right. Yeah. What do you do for an encore? Because you've already made me throw up. So I imagine we can expect a lecture about trans biology. Yeah, no doubt. The pair face each other in a Whitehall chamber, trading laboured monologues with their diplomatic teams at their backs. He sits at desks like a classroom of truculent school children. Hers are suspended in a giant tank of water because Salt's race of Homo aqua amphibians have been hibernating below the waves for the past few centuries. Now they've woken up and they're not happy about trawler fleets, plastic waste, or raw sewage pumped into the oceans. The villains are a capitalist businessman and a ranting right-wing politician. Yes, of course. How subtle. The good guys are the Doctor's old chums at UNIT, a paramilitary agency headed by Kate Lethbridge-Stewart. We know about this. Her job is blah, 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 blah. Davis, the archetypal BBC lovey, might like to impose martial law on his critics, but if anyone deserves to face court-martial, it's him! Boom! For this stultifyingly boring script. Hell yes. Tovey reads much of his from an autoprompter, the same explanations repeated over and over. It's so dull. We're looking into the oceanic mycelium networks, one backroom boffin announces before explaining mycelium networks are the fungal threads believed to connect individual plants and trees to share and recycle vital minerals and so on and so on and on and on. Yes, that's right. The show really is that riveting. The Beeb doesn't understand sci-fi, and it never has. Like all cultural snobs, Auntie thinks fantasy adventures are worthwhile only when they are instructive and educational. The pity is, a far better version of this story, Humans versus Superior Sea Creatures, was written 90 years ago by the sci-fi genius Carol Capek, I don't know, the man who invented the word robot. His 1936 story, War with the Newts, is thrilling, provocative, witty, and heartbreaking, all the things this hapless BBC travesty fails to be. Go check that out, guys. Now, what else do we have? We've got The Guardian here, begging, of course, as they always do, but we're not going to give them any money because, well, they don't do anything to entertain me. And if they don't do anything to entertain me, then why would I pay them? I wouldn't. This is an interesting one because it's following what has become very much an alarming trend in, well, it's not alarming really, it's par for the course. Journalists of all sorts and all shapes and sizes cannot be trusted in any way, shape or form to tell you the truth about anything ever. But she shits on the show from a great height. Dodgy character names, zero subtlety, a dubious approach to female roles, blah, blah, blah. Typical feminist. Lucy Mangan, I'm pretty sure I've covered some crap she wrote before, but whatever it was, I can't remember. It carries on just basically more of the same, almost exactly the same, with just a little bit more patience than the Daily Mail had. Homo Aqua will only continue this discussion with Barclay as the leader of the human side because presidents, politicians, ambassadors, and military leaders cannot be trusted, and because he was the only one to show respect to the body of a creature killed by the fishers. Barclay wonders if she might have a point. Maybe it's time people like me had more of a voice, one parable at a time, please, guys, or at least wait until we put more Baileys in the fridge. Yeah. It's really bad that this is coming out right before Christmas. It's really, really rubbish. She says, look, it's fine. It's solid entertainment for kids. No, it's not. She says, I can see teenagers starting off sneering but falling under its spell. There is no spell. How can you have shat on this, right, and then given it 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10? Are you having a giraffe? I gave it 2. That's, well, the highest score I've given so far is 4. For the first episode, which was mercifully boring. The second episode had a lot of stuff in it, and that stuff was pure cringe. Anyway, none of that really matters because it didn't seem to help any ratings attempt that the sound mix was completely inaudible. The BBC was bombarded with complaints just minutes into the Doctor Who spin-off series, The War Between the Land and the Sea, blah, 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 etc., etc. It tells you the story again. We don't care, we don't care, we don't care. Just minutes into the show, viewers were less than impressed. They were taking to social media to complain about one problem, the sound levels and the volume of dialogue between the characters. A number of viewers said they were struggling to keep up with what was being said because of the way the volume had been balanced between music and speech. It was so bad for some viewers that they hit out an important speech in the first episode wasn't audible, admitting they relied on subtitles to know what was said. One fan wrote in an online forum, why is the background music drowning out the dialogue? I can't hear a bloody thing. Well, you see, that's the thing. They wanted you to feel like you're under fucking water when you're watching it. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. As someone said, I cannot understand what anyone is saying. Lucky bastard. Any chance you could turn the music down so I have a chance of actually hearing what's said? Someone else said they had to have the volume on 8, but they had it on 8, but they had to knock it up to 30. That's such a British thing to say, like, oh, my volume was on 30. Sort out the sound balance. I guess being a spin-off, they had to settle for the work experience sound guy. Terrible sound. Can't make out the dialogue. Stupidly quiet, recorded in a bath and difficult to understand. Really bloody quiet for anyone else. Volume on 8, had to turn it up to 30. Not going to win awards for sound mixing. Background music making dialogue difficult to hear. Not only the volume, though. Background music appears to be constant in every scene. It's very intrusive. Yada, yada, yada. And there you go. As it stands right now, the biggest complaint that the normies are giving is that the show sounds terrible. Well, lucky them, because if they had been able to hear it, they would have realized that the show is terrible. And that is all I got to say about that. All right, yeah, willies and fannies, how we doing? How are we doing? Anyone saying anything? Oh, hello, Rhoda. For £2, legit currency right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's what that is.
Every single person of, that's intelligent, hardworking, ambitious, had dreams and goals, has abandoned England in the last 200 years.
True freaking story. Says, can confirm, threw the Guardian away this morning. There you go, mate. Thank you, Rhoda, doing the work that must be done. Hopefully you threw it into the ocean. Anyway, there we go. Or into the River Thames. But there you go. It's pretty bad. Majors Guild, hello, mate. For 5, that's very nice. We are 1/5 away to Sue Christmas titties. Says, the thing with Pete McTeague is that he can do good work when he chooses. Yes, I have heard that he's written some decent stuff for other shows. Sadly, he is about of Chibnall's level of politics. Right. Sent a video DM on X. Okay, let's have a look. What you got? What have you got for me? Is this it? Let's have a look. Oh, right. Okay, hold on a moment. 10 minutes? You sure? I don't have time for that, but we'll take a glance anyway. Hang on. Let's have a look. Let's see what we can get up on the screen here. Here it is. All right. Pete McTeague made this. Shocking what competent actors can do to elevate his work. All right. Let's have a look. Am I about to get copyright struck? Probably. Wait, what? It's Davison. Why is it Davison? What did Pete McTeague make? All right. Let's get past the fucking music. Destination Daleks. What?
Hey.
Oh, holy shit. Cool.
London. This is Butler's Wharf.
I remember. We
Wow.
said goodbye all those years ago.
I haven't been back here since.
No.
Gives me the shivers.
Jesus
At least
Christ.
they've cleaned it up. This place used to be a dump. Why has the TARDIS brought us back here?
Unfinished business.
How are you even in the TARDIS? Did you buy Generate as well?
Maybe it knows something we don't.
Oh, he did say all regenerations were by
Found us a
Generation.
nice restaurant.
It's interesting, isn't it?
If only.
I feel like I'm definitely going to get felted by the BBC for watching this. Still,
I
keep
did
going.
bring this.
Ha! The early model. Gotta love it.
Come on, Tegan.
What in the world? How does this exist and I didn't know about it?
New screwdriver?
It's an upgrade.
Sure is. This one
Not much.
actually works.
I've genuinely missed your constant criticism.
Have you?
No.
Oh, mate. Acting. Solid acting.
Would you?
It's so retro. I love it. It's so fucking cool.
Is he dead?
Well, he's not pretending, is he? Projected energy weapon. Quite recent
Oh man, you remember when British people were British?
too.
Well, he's not pretending, is he? So yeah, he actually can do good work with competent actors. So all right, maybe there's a little hope.
Maybe he's got some idea.
Oh, but wait, he's on the Chibnall scale of politics.
Like a space driver's license or a space credit card.
He's a soldier. Check the combat tags.
Or the...
Right.
Hey!
It's damaged, but I might be able to get it working.
Well, if you could do...
They don't do shots like this either anymore. You know that? Have you noticed the way that movies and TV shows look these days? It's always camera right in your fucking face. They never do like a good long shot anymore. And if they do, it's only as an establishing shot, and then when someone speaks, it's like right in.
Do that before...
You mean when British people weren't Arab?
Before the
Yeah.
Thames comes flooding in, that'd be great.
Doctor!
Whoa.
That's Turlo.
I never thought I'd see him again. Fucking Turlo.
I hope this message gets to you in time.
He's old too, then.
The recording's corrupted, but if I can boost them.
God damn it! Why can't we have him as the Doctor? This is fine. He's old enough. He can do it.
The data stream.
I mean, you know, he's young enough. He can do it. He's working.
It's got old.
I suggest, Tegan, you look in the mirror.
I beg your pardon.
I thought you said this was only like 2 minutes long, and the rest is interviews. Oh, Alex! There we go. Let's do it. Grab it.
Do you really need to ask?
Do you know they could actually just make more of this? They could actually just do this. Have it looking old and felted in terms of special effects. I'd rather watch it. Fucking grey Daleks and everything. It's fucking tight. Obviously, I can't watch the whole thing, but I will. Thank you very much for sending that. You see what I mean? They could actually do it. They could actually just keep making Doctor Who. Didn't have to be... Like, I reckon more people would watch that now. That would probably get higher ratings. In fact, does anybody want to take that challenge? Fucking hell. What a mess. We have to live in such a world. He carries on, says send a video. Oh no, I've finished the super chat already. Mage Guild, you're a fucking legend, man. Thank you very much for sending that my way. I do appreciate it. Have a treat. Yes, we do, dear. Yes, we do. And we'll do more than that if we get to the full red bar. Anyway, there we go. Christ, what a mess that whole fucking thing, that show. What a wretched piece of shit show that is. Oh, well, there we go. The old episodes are live on Amazon. They suck you. They do, don't they? Like, even like last year, I went back and I watched the first 2 arcs as much as I could find with Hartnell in like 15-minute segments on Daily Motion. And I was just like, I was meant to be working as well as in the background, and I kept finding like, oh shit, work, you know. And so I eventually had to turn it off because I genuinely just was watching. They just don't make TV that grips you anymore. Don't make anything grabs you and goes, hey, I'm talking, pay attention. You know, people would pay their license if they gave us that. Probably. That's true. Yeah, it's true. I reckon people would pay their license if they just started making good television again. Can you imagine? I mean, imagine being the BBC and fucking up Top Gear and Doctor Who. Your 2 like by an enormous margin, the biggest earners they had, the like literally the biggest and most popular franchises they had. Like literally miles ahead of shows like Strictly and Bake Off and all that other stuff that lots of people watch, but not as many as were watching Doctor Who or Top Gear. And they fucked up both of them because of their ideology. Stupid mother. You know, let's talk about something else. This is starting to make me actually angry. But anyway, there we go. Shout out to those guys already who've super chatted and such. Let's keep it going. Here's one for Rodar. Indeed. Let's get into this and have a look. And because it pertains to the Tomb Raider franchise, and I actually have no idea what to make of this, so we're going in blind. But it is a bit of a well moment because, rumor has it that a new Tomb Raider game is going to be announced at the Game Awards. And look, I'd love to be sitting here brimming with optimism, imagining a triumphant return of the actual Lara Croft that we all actually want, the confident, athletic, sexy, unapologetically feminine adventurer who defined an entire genre. I totally tripped over that word. The problem, though, the people steering the franchise, it's still Crystal Dynamics, and they are absolutely allergic to a badass, buxom, sexy, feminine, well, femme fatale. They just can't handle that version of her. Every time they get hold of Lara, they flatten her, sand her down, sculpt her into some sort of androgynous, joyless mannequin, and then have people in her earpiece going, Lara, go this way, talk about that, oh, investigate that. Oh, shut up, you bastards. And they're diverse as fuck too. Because how strong now apparently means look like you haven't smiled since 2014. If you want to be a strong woman, apparently, it means you have to act like a miserable bitch. Yeah, sure. They then had the remastered originals, and they crushed it. You know why? Because they respected the originals and what made the character iconic in the first place. But expecting the modern devs to learn that lesson, no, don't even try. These guys are woke to the bone, and they are never going to participate. The last thing that they want is a heroine who looks like a woman. So brace yourself. Lara's next makeover will probably come with a lecture. All right, here we go. We're at Insider Gaming for this one, and it's all about a new Tomb Raider. And you just have to look at the picture that they've chosen with this flat-chested, man-jawed, surly, ugly, miserable. Like, that hairdo is even ugly, like swept across the face. Who does she think she is? The Austrian painter? Why would you ever want Lara to look like this? The whole point is that Lara is hot. People want her, so she's free to manipulate them. Anyway, whatever. The future of the Tomb Raider series is being unveiled at the Game Awards. While no specifics were given, it seems fans will finally know what's coming next for Lara Croft during the event. Released in 1996, the Tomb Raider series has become an icon in the gaming world. No, it hasn't become. It has ceased to be an icon in the gaming world. The intuitive gameplay, sweeping stories, and of course the protagonist Lara Croft have entertained fans for more than 30 years. The last main entry in the series, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, released in 2018. My God. No wonder she looks so fucking miserable. That's a long time. What is that, 7 years since the last Tomb Raider game? Wow. But then again, they have been felted and been working really hard on such, incredibly respectable projects as the tabletop game that no one wanted, and the Netflix series, which made her muscular and flat-chested, and of course nobody wanted. With re-releases following suit, developer Crystal Dynamics and new partner Amazon have been working, on the new entry with Sophie fucking Paracetamols on an ironing board Turner. That's going to be terrible. Now, December 11th is the date players will finally know where Lara Croft is off to next. So there we go. We've got this picture. This was tweeted by Jeff Keighley, of course, who presents the Lame Awards, as just revealed in our The Game Awards vote in Fortnite map portal. Tune in Thursday night for a look at the future of one of gaming's most iconic franchises at Tomb Raider. This is one you won't want to miss. Well, I won't miss it because I'll be part of the stream that is doing it. But this looks a bit like original Lara. That's weird, right? Why is she standing there like this? It looks like some sort of time machine. Are they actually going to make a good decision here? Because that does not look, to my mind, like that. There's a certain curvature at the waist. Oh no, maybe it's a bit, maybe it's just the backpack. God, it could be terrible, couldn't it? Well, shall I get my hopes up? Shall I? Just to be annoyed later when they inevitably screw us all over again? You know what? Maybe I will. Just so that the outrage is really, really accessible in the front of my brain when they inevitably show us some flat-chested, builder-bodied Lara Bruiser. In a tweet from the Game Awards, blah, 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 we know, we read it. It has been quite some time since fans reunited with Lara Croft, as 2018 marked the last new entry. However, teasers of Lara's new look came out in celebration a few years back, so it's unknown if it's changed since. It's also unclear whether it's a continuation of the new reboot trilogy or the originals. Given Lara's look in the silhouette, it does look reminiscent of her days in the original titles. Okay, I'm not the only one who thinks that. Then that's good. though likely with a modern twist. Either way, a new Tomb Raider is finally on its way, and fans won't have to wait long to find out how. Are they that felted? I mean, Crystal did have mass layoffs like everybody else. They definitely are feeling the burn of fucking up this major franchise, which is more or less the only thing they are known for now. I mean, these are the guys who literally created the Legacy of Kain franchise and Pandemonium. Where are they now? But there you go. It's too bad core design folded. Bring back Toby God. That would be better. That would work. But I guess there you go. We're going to get a little bit of a look at it at the Game Awards. Hopefully we'll get a look at Lara. And then I'll either be reporting to you, wow, they've done it. They've actually brought back original Lara. We've got sexy Lara. She's back. We're going to have a good game again. Or it's going to be, what the hell is even that? Because that's what it'll be. The Lara Croft is supposed to be sexy. She's not supposed to be a flat-chested bodybuilder type who looks like a miserable cow. And to be fair, if I looked like that, I'd be a miserable bitch too. You know? But there you go. Is it going to be good? Could it possibly? If you want my honest opinion, I'd say no. I'll give it a 20% chance of not completely pissing me off. I know that's a little nebulous, a little vague, but I'd say it's about 80% likely to really piss me off. And within that 20%, there's about an 80% chance that it will make me go, meh. So there you go. Hopes definitely not up. Definitely not up. Just not yet anyway. Maybe they will bring back classic Lara and then lots of things will be up. But there you go. Anyway, there it is. I'm sure it will be wank. It will be absolute bollocks. No one will want it. Rhoda, for £2 of legitimate currency, says they're shitting Master Chief up next. Yeah, is that what they've got now? Is that what they've got their hands on? I don't know. I don't follow Crystal because I fucking loathe them. I used to really like them. I used to think they were one of the great unsung. Oh, they did Gex too, you know. I forgot about that. That was them. They did Gex, Pandemonium, and Soul Reaver. Well, Legacy of Kain, and later Soul Reaver within Legacy of Kain. But then they got Tomb Raider and they stopped making everything else. And for a while, they made good Tomb Raider games. I mean, yeah, they were a bit QTE-ish, but they were decent. I had the fucking Waggle Wii version of the Tomb Raider Anniversary. I think it's on my shelf, actually. Yeah, it's right there. I can see it. Hang on a minute. I'll grab it. Let's have a look. Whoopsie. Here we are. Just fuck up my entire rug while I'm doing it. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, here we go. There it is. Waggle Raider. You know, it was pretty good. It's actually surprisingly playable. And you know what you notice about this? Lara's fucking hot. She's hot. Look at that ass. Look at them. Woo-hoo-hoo. Nothing wrong with that. But yeah, there you go. It's the original Tomb Raider. Remastered with the core, the crystal design model, which was, to be honest, much easier to play than the originals. But if you're a purist, you can always play the remasters. They certainly did a good job with them. And there you go. Why can't she just look like this? You know? Ain't much to ask, is it? Oh, great. I fucked up my camera now. Hello. Professional streamer, guys. That's me. That's me. Fucked it all up. All right. Okay. Are we back? We're back. So there we are. Thank you very much, Rhoda. Appreciate you for the 2. Sardok for another 2. Says, don't get your hopes up. I'm expecting total slop. And there we go. That is it. That is it. That's where we're at. Certainly is. It's it doesn't strike me that it's going to be any good. No. Appreciate you for the 2, mate. Oh, we got another one. Mages Guild sent one more as a Discord DM. X is busted again. I know, right? Grok keeps fucking it up, I think. Almost every day around the same time, Grok just starts acting ridiculously slow, and then X fucks up too. Where are we? There you are. Oh my god, what have you sent me? Another one of these. Hold on. Let me have a look, because they were a bit long, but we'll have a quick look. Hold on a minute. Here we go. Another episode.
But do not fear. We face the end with courage.
Oh, I've seen this, I think.
I'm instructed to give you this.
Yeah.
The Doctor is waging war. The end is coming, and you are his only hope for the future.
I remember this.
My lady, I beg of you. Activate the Wayfinder. Escape.
Daleks. It did get pretty good for a while. Could be good again.
I am Leela, warrior of the 17 and of Gallifrey.
There you are.
Friend of the Doctor.
His acolytes will be exterminated.
Yeah, it really isn't that difficult, is it? Huh. That's cool.
Put you to location.
Leela.
Yeah, good girl.
Go on, Leela.
That's cool, Mages Guild. That's cool. Thank you. And for the 2 as well. You guys, you rock. We're almost at what? Well, we're at 27. We can do it. We can do it. We probably need someone to come and help us, but we can do it. We can get Christmas boo bears. Paul Thomas Ashworth has gifted 5 for the Griff Force, 5 for the princesses. Way hey. That's amazing. Thank you very much, buddy. That's fucking awesome. 5 for the Griff Force, 5 for the princesses. Love it.
Let's go, Griff Force! Doing it for the princesses!
Now the question is, do you want me to add that to the red bar or the blue bar? Because I could add it to the red bar, which would make it more likely that we'll get to Christmas movies. I think if I ask John, it will probably be the red bar. So I think, yeah, I might just do it to make a... I don't know. What do you guys want? Jackbox or Christmas tits? Let me know, and I'll see. I'll see. Otherwise, I'll just add it to the blue bar like normal. All right. Let's go. And I'll wait for you guys to tell me what you want. In the meantime, I'll cook up something for us to talk about, because we've got a lot going on at the moment. It's really busy for the end of the year, you know. Normally this time of year, John wants tits. What is that, like about $15 or something equivalent to? All right, hang on. Let me fucking do it, for God's sake. Ah, boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, hold on. Something like that. Anyway, can we handle the handles? Well, there you go. That's the question, isn't it? 1 second. Okay. Now I've got to do everything myself. Fucking stupid bar. Stupid bar. Shit. Hold on. Doobie doobie doo. What? Oh, for God's sake. This takes forever. Sorry, but oh well. Trying to do you guys a favor. La 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 la. All right. Well, I guess we will never quite know. But whatever anyway. 1 second. There we are. And right. Done. All right. Let's go. Boom. Okay. We can continue now. John want tits. I know. Break the habit of a lifetime. Why don't you? What a shock. All right, let's move on. We've got more topics. I've got loads to talk about today. So many things are going on. It is the craziest fucking time, actually. It really is. For mid-December, winding down is usually what's going on. The news starts to dry up. There's very little that happens. I mean, certainly after the Game Awards, things will start to calm down. But then, of course, there's also all this major crap happening in the entertainment industry in terms of hostile takeovers and such. We're going to talk a little bit about Warner Brothers and Paramount, because it's getting just ridiculous. And it's so much fun to watch as these companies vie for control. And it's the inevitable outcome of the streaming wars. So let's get into it, because this is sort of breaking news, folks. Hollywood just pulled out the popcorn for us. Paramount has stormed in response to Netflix winning the Warner battle with a $108 billion hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers Discovery, and the timing is perfect. It can't be more entertaining. It's more entertaining than the films they produce. That's where we're at in 2025, guys. Netflix thought they had the thing wrapped up with a bow. They were ready to absorb Warner like a python swallowing a wounded deer. And suddenly Paramount kicks down the door like, actually, we'll take that. All of it. All right, then. It's not corporate strategy anymore. This is a custody battle where both parents hate the kid but desperately want the bragging rights. And remember, this isn't just about Batman or Bugs Bunny. Of course, it's about CNN, the crown jewel of performative outrage, and a network the left really don't want to see land in the hands of anyone even remotely friendly with Trump, like the Ellisons at Paramount. So now, of course, the industry is panicking, the media sphere is shaking, and the Hollywood puppet masters are clawing each other's eyes out. You love it. Okay. Let's keep it going, guys. The momentum is good. All right. Breaking. Paramount counters Netflix with a $108 billion hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. They sure did. Paramount, led by David Ellison, isn't giving up its bid to win Warner Brothers. Late last week, the Warner Brothers board announced that it accepted an $82.7 billion proposal from Netflix. It's an offer Ellison tells shareholders is an inferior proposal. Well, you see, the thing is, it is. First of all, they don't want the whole company. They want to pair off CNN so that it can continue to operate with Discovery elsewhere with Turner. But that's not going to work, because it's not the complete thing, and that's not really what Zaslav wants. However, they accepted it for one reason or another, and you can probably draw your own conclusions about CNN playing a pivotal part in that, whether it will or will not be allowed to continue to attack the president, even though he's the best president I've seen in my entire life that America's had. But Ellison's not counted out yet, because you see, this is a cash and stock options deal, right? So you are not going to, well, not stock options, but it's a cash and stock deal for not the entire company. So the shareholders are effectively getting felted out of a load of money, because they could, in fact, offer more. And if Paramount takes the company, they take it all. That means news networks and such included. So that would make everybody an awful lot more money. Ellison made it clear that he's prepared to outbid Netflix by a substantial amount. Ellison is offering shareholders $30 per share, all in cash. So no stock, no fucking around. No need to sell it on or whatever if you don't want it. You get the cash. Straight transfer. You're bought out. Company goes, gets absorbed by Paramount. You're out. You can invest in them if you want. It's up to you. But you get the payout. It's a better deal for the shareholders. Definitely a better deal than they're going to get from Netflix. And of course, it's more because it's all of the company. So Netflix is only interested in Warner Brothers and not the linear TV networks, which are set to be spun off into a separate company this coming year. The offer is only $27.75 per share in a combination of cash and stock. Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders deserve an opportunity to consider our superior all-cash offer for their shares in the entire company, Ellison said in a statement. The carefully crafted line may be an attempt to appeal to investors who feel disenfranchised by Warner Brothers' surprise decision to go with Netflix. Our public offer, which is on the same terms we provided to the Warner Brothers Discovery Board of Directors in private, provides superior value, a much more certain and quicker path to completion. He's completely right. There's literally nothing they can say about this. They can't come out and say that this is a scam, that you're being ripped off. No, it's not. It's a better deal. You get more money and you get it in cash. It's funny, isn't it, how they want you all to go like cashless, but they'd rather still... I mean, obviously, it's not exactly a one-to-one comparison, but they still refer to cash as the simplest path to completion. Just amusing. Anyway, it is complex and it is very volatile, but it gets stupider because now we have got backers. They've got backup now, and that backup is coming in the form of Arab investors Jared Kushner and Wall Street loans. Looks like a lot of people really want to see this happen, don't they? What David Ellison and Paramount did Monday morning, issuing a hostile takeover bid for Warner Brothers Discovery for $108 billion, sent shockwaves through the industry. Now the dust has settled. Analysts are working through how Paramount was able to make such a monumental all-cash offer. The collection of funds and investors reveals a carefully orchestrated plan. It's not just the Ellison family backing this move against Netflix for some of the most powerful brands in entertainment, but a select network of investors from around the world, including the Middle East and President Trump's own family. Oh, Trump, you naughty boy. You got to love it, really. You really got to, because he wants to felt CNN. And why wouldn't you? If you had like a perennial antagonist that had spent absolutely years and years and years going after you for no reason and convoluted, stupid plots against you and promoting every lie that's ever been told about you, and you had a chance to own them, or at least have control over the people who do, why wouldn't you take it? It's hilarious, mate. Earlier this year, Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison and Redbird Capital Partners backed the Skydance $8 billion merger with Paramount. His son David Ellison took over as chairman and CEO, and it was his interest in acquiring Warner Brothers Discovery that set off the recent bidding war. But now Redbird Capital Partners is contributing $40.7 billion to the battle for Warner Brothers Discovery. Doesn't seem they're willing to settle for being one of the biggest companies in entertainment. They want to be the biggest player in the industry, along with Netflix as their opponent, and let the two titans battle it out. Fine by me. It was like that before streaming, and it will be like it again after. This also works out much better for audiences because it will be better for movie theaters as well. Netflix really, really wants to get rid of movie theaters in general. They just want everything to be limited runs and then streaming immediately because they don't care. See, Netflix don't give a shit if people enjoy the movie. They only care if you keep your subscription, which means they can hoodwink you. It's very much like a gacha game, you know? Anyway, there's Middle East money coming in too from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, of course. 24 billion, excuse me. That's ridiculous. The question of the region's interest in Warner Brothers Discovery has been a source of endless speculation. Now the numbers are clear. It's one of the region's largest entertainment investments they've made so far. And, you know, I'm not into the Saudis. I'm not into all these Arab financiers coming in and owning the entertainment industries of the West. But as it stands right now, they are the lesser of two evils, which is kind of unbelievable. But notably, Saudi Arabia recently took over EA Games, of course. They did, yep. And they're going to end up owning like 93% of EA. Despite foreign funds being brought into play, the deal has safeguards in place to ease regulatory pressure. The Middle Eastern money will not allow these foreign investors board seats, voting power, or operational influence. The agreement should shield the bid from any scrutiny from the Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States. Yes. And then, of course, there's Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, whose Affinity Partners made a small investment in EA Games as well. Appears that Affinity has also joined in with the Ellison family for the hostile takeover of Warner Brothers Discovery. With Kushner's personal connection to the White House and professional association with Middle Eastern investors, he may be strategically placed to help the deal go through. In Paramount's letter to shareholders Monday morning, it stressed that the Netflix deal exposes them to a protracted, multi-jurisdictional regulatory clearance process with an uncertain outcome. Having Kushner's investment firm involved may reassure shareholders of a positive outcome. And of course, Wall Street's involved as well. Bank of America, Citi, and Apollo Global Management have promised to provide Paramount $54 billion in loans should their offer be accepted. More than sending funds, they're sending a message. Paramount still has a chance in this fight, and if it wins, it can make that money back. But there you go. So there's that. And then, of course, as a result, Warner Brothers abruptly postponed the employee town hall. So it got even crazier. Something shifted inside Warner Brothers Discovery last week, and according to one source familiar with the situation, the mood has been fundamentally different ever since the Paramount hostile takeover saga publicly blew open. What was supposed to be a routine WBD employee town hall meeting with staff submitting questions in advance was quietly paused in the wake of the Paramount drama, just as employees were preparing to hear from top leadership. Instead, an internal email went out saying, "Thank you to all who submitted questions for the town hall. The session has been postponed and will be rescheduled at a later date." Key questions Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders should be asking: did they thoroughly review blah blah? It doesn't matter, you can read that yourself. But it is internally anxious, as according to the source, the tenor inside Warner noticeably shifted after reports surfaced that Paramount Global had made a superior cash-heavy proposal to acquire it, one that the board ultimately did not engage with, leading Paramount to launch a hostile takeover attempt. The Netflix deal is still a flashpoint. The postponed town hall comes on the heels of headline-grabbing announcement that they were going to merge with Netflix. Shareholders and analysts are still questioning why they brushed aside the Paramount proposal, with insiders described as financially stronger on paper and more favorable to stockholders. That decision set the current drama in motion, eventually leading Paramount to bypass the board entirely with a direct hostile bid. And there you go. It's obvious why they've done this. They don't have a fucking clue what's going to happen. Ultimately, if the shareholders rebel and they would rather go for that deal, it's going to make them look rather foolish at the board, and they won't really know how to answer what will no doubt become a much more cacophonous line of questions. And there's really only a couple of ways this is going to go. Either somehow Netflix is able to still secure the deal, or Paramount is going to own Warner. And if Paramount owns Warner, well, then CNN could well be felted. I think you know which version I'd rather see. But there you go, guys. Where are we? What's going on? How do we feel? How do we feel about that? I'm quite interested to see how this is going to shake out, because it really will make a big difference to a lot of things, especially the quality of the entertainment, the availability of it in theaters, and of course, it would force CNN to change if they had to stop constantly attacking the president, or at least they'd have to do it in a slightly different way, a less serious way. It would be very, very funny. I can't stand CNN, like many of you. It makes me furious. But there you go. Anyway, we are doing a thing, and well, there it goes. Now we've got more topics to talk about. I've got like 3 more for today. So we'll continue to blitz through all of them. And, oh, by the way, we're also on Rumble. For those of you who follow on Rumble, you can find me at Will of the Fans. What a freaking shocker. Just like everywhere else, you can find me. And we are live on Rumble as well as YouTube. Recently passed 100 followers, which is interesting considering I barely tried anything with Rumble. I do feel kind of bad about it. Maybe I should try harder. I guess we'll find out. Hello, Danger Island. How are you doing? We're not playing Jackbox today, but we are trying to fill this red bar all the way up so that we can get new Christmas titties. Because that's what's at stake. And it's been a thing that I worked very, very hard on. So there we go. Anyway, I don't know who's watching or whatever. But onwards we move. So, help John get his titties for Christmas. as we move into yet another segment of this long ass show. Okay, and we are going into a little bit more back to the geek side of things, because there's a report that, well, it could be very interesting. We'll have a look anyway. So, look at this. Look who suddenly wants a do-over. Reports are swirling, and this is something that a lot of us have waited to hear about for a long time. However, it may be too little too late. Apparently, reports are swirling that Disney's Star Wars Sequel Trilogy, the Frankenstein's monster of corporate storytelling, is potentially getting a retcon. Yes, the same trilogy that vaporized the legacy characters, warped the Force into a participation trophy, and pinned the whole mess on Rey, the textbook Mary Sue, who randomly turned out to be a Palpatine because someone in the writer's room panicked and threw darts at a family tree. And now they want to fix it, I guess. Is that what they're going to do with it? Or are they going to make it worse? Here's the problem. You can't unshatter the mirror. You can glue it back together, but there'll still be cracks. You can't unburn a house. You can repaint the ashes. You can rearrange the rubble. You can even pretend the foundation wasn't poured out of pure incompetence, but the damage is done. Fans checked out years ago. Trust is gone. And a retcon this late in the game feels like a little bit too late. Yeah, maybe. Little too late. It feels, anyway, less like bold storytelling and more like Disney whispering, please come back. We promise we've changed. It'll be a cold day in hell before Disney changes. Do Rumble have payouts, says Majors Guild? Yes, they do. Although there is something you have to do about that. I can't remember. Anyway, so here we are. A new report claims Star Wars is getting a sequel trilogy retcon, but it may not even matter anymore. This is from WDW Pro via Geeks and Gamers. It's that time again. Another report that Star Wars is getting ready to retcon the sequel trilogy, but this time it's coming from a source more likely to defend the decisions of Kathleen Kennedy than to declare Lucasfilm the owners of a dead franchise. Well, that's good. See, according to a recent report from Screen Rant, Disney and Lucasfilm appears to be quietly preparing to retcon the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And I know what you're thinking. Why am I not more excited about this? Again, you can't unburn the house. We'll see. Hopefully they're not actually just going to re-establish or recontextualize, but they'll do something else. The article argues that recent and upcoming Star Wars projects are effectively rewriting or recontextualizing the narrative established by the sequels, suggesting that the events of those films may be sidelined, if not outright undone. Okay. Now, we've fallen for this trick a few times in the past, a little bit, where they say they're retconning it, and it turns out they're just making something as a side story that adds a little nuance to the story of the sequels that no one cares about, and it won't make a fucking difference. But if they're actually going to undo the story, this is the sort of thing that people were asking for back in 2018, 2019. The notion of how such a retcon could work is rooted in existing Star Wars lore, specifically via the concept of the world between worlds, a mystical time and space bending realm introduced in the animated series Star Wars Rebels. Yeah, I was never a big fan of that. It turns Star Wars into Doctor Who. Some theorists and commentators suggest that through the world between worlds, Lucasfilm could introduce an alternate timeline. This is one way they could attempt to preserve the sequel trilogy as canon in one timeline while effectively replacing or ignoring it in another. So what did you have? What would you have if you make another 7, 8, and 9? Star Wars Episode 7, something else, and then it becomes what? Star Wars Legends Episode 7, The Force Awakens? They've got to do something, though, because it's a dead franchise. Star Wars is dead. I know you hear that a lot, but it is. It's dead. There's no interest in it at all anymore. The last thing that came out from Star Wars that got anybody's attention was The Acolyte, and it was such a nuclear firestorm of an absolute shit show that it's actually pushed an angry fan base into apathy. No one cares. anymore. Specifically, if this path is taken, the sequels would no longer be the definitive continuity, and future films or series might proceed as though the sequels never happened or happened in a different branch of the Star Wars multiverse. I don't like that there's a Star Wars multiverse. Anyway, the Screen Rant report implies this may already be underway as part of a broader shift away from the post-Return of the Jedi era that the sequels cemented. Because that is the problem. They cemented it into the shape of a giant statue of a Mary Sue, a whiny little bitch, and a bunch of characters that otherwise no one cared about. I mean, Finn had potential, but they felted him too. That said, there remains substantial skepticism and practical obstacles. As noted in another Screen Rant article, it is very unlikely that Lucasfilm would fully retcon the sequels. First, because upcoming projects are reportedly still linked to that legacy, and because such a sweeping rewrite would risk undermining a decade's worth of films, books, comics, and other media built around those movies. Oh, but that's not an excuse. They literally took out 3 decades worth of movies, books, comics, and other media built around the original movies that we called the Expanded Universe. They literally are still going back to an old theory and trying to portray it as something that is actually happening. And given recent reports that Kathleen Kennedy told Sean Levy to stay away from anything old in the upcoming Starfighter film, it might be more believable that they want to bury their failures and just forget about them. Why such a retcon, and why would they do it now, though? Rumors of the World Between Worlds retcon attempt have been swirling for many years and always to no real fruition behind the scenes at Lucasfilm. Yet the economic motivation for retconning the sequels is fairly straightforward. The sequel trilogy was polarizing among fans and critics, and the legacy continues to cast a long shadow. The final entry, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker 2019, ended a divisive arc that many feel left plot threads unresolved, character motivations muddled, and the tone inconsistent with earlier and more beloved eras of Star Wars storytelling. Yeah, that's it. That's why it's been years of us talking about this shit. So why would they do it now, though? Apparently newer content, especially streaming era series like Ahsoka, fuck that character, and others in what fans call the Mandoverse. Oh, Jesus. Has shifted focus to different time periods and narrative styles. The emphasis now seems to be on reinventing Star Wars post-original trilogy rather than continuing the immediate aftermath explored by the sequels. That's why they keep crowbarring stories into that section. Thus, a retcon could serve as a soft reboot, enabling Lucasfilm to refocus on parts of the galaxy they deem more fertile creatively, free from the baggage of the sequels' controversies, while still preserving their most valuable legacy elements. But, and this is important, it may not matter much because Star Wars is already in decline. Exactly. Who cares? Well, me a little bit. You know, the inner romantic would like to see a real sequel trilogy, an actual Thrawn trilogy would be fine. But there you go. For one, even before any official retcon, the sequel trilogy's cultural and commercial influence has been waning. No shit. The last original Star Wars theatrical film came out in 2019. Since then, the franchise's cinematic output has been sparse, and major projects like a proposed sequel trilogy standalone film starring fucking Kylo Ren. No one wants this. No one. Only the Acolyte people want this. Fuck them. Even Rian Johnson has finally admitted there are no plans to make his his Star Wars trilogy that he was promised by Kathy Kennedy. Oh, mate. It's so funny watching Star Wars news because it's just always the same. It's, are they going to retcon it? No, then it's shit. Are they going to retcon it? No, then it's felted. Are they going to retcon it? Maybe. Oh, really? Yeah, but who cares? They really did destroy Star Wars with those fucking movies. Streaming shows have become more central to the franchise's identity than big screen films. I still laugh about it. It's been years and I still find it funny. The broader fan base appears fatigued, and interest in the franchise appears more fragmented than it once was. In the environment, whether or not sequels remain officially canon may not significantly affect the general public's appetite for Star Wars going forward. It's true. But it is fun to think about. And ultimately, the only reason to bring it up these days is because we hate Disney so very, very much for what they did. And we want them to have to, one day, effectively apologize and say, oh, we're really sorry. We're really, 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 really sorry. Yeah, I bet you are. Too little, too late, bitch. Spin on it. There you go. Yeah, I just thought it was funny. It's still going on. Look at Major Guild losing his mind. This theory is years old. I know. I think it's new. I've been in the Star Wars fucking fandom menace club since like 2015. No, like 2017, I'd say. But yeah, I know they've been saying this for years, and I really don't want them to do it with the World Between Worlds. I want them to just have like someone do a time travel or something. That would be fun. Smackheads, hello, buddy. For Australian 5 says, I'm sure a retcon will fix all their problems with the Star Wars IP. Never cared much for Star Wars, to be honest. In any event, what they make will be shite. Yeah. I can taste the sarcasm, buddy. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, Disney will never be able to make good Star Wars. Doesn't matter if they retcon it. What they make will just be shit. It will still be shit. Only George Lucas can make Star Wars.
He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smee. Hey.
Go. Thank you very much for that one, buddy. Appreciate you for the $5. Thank you very much. There you go. Where are we at now? 46.32. Oh boy, I don't know if we're going to do it. Oh well, maybe someone will come and miraculously drop an orange or a pink or something and get us those titties for Christmas. There we go. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and finish up with the last couple of articles as we move in. Danger Island, can I ask you something, Will? What's up? And then usually if I would only answer if it's a super, but yeah, go on. Formula, okay, I've got that one. Got that one. Oh yeah. We're gonna have a laugh at the end of this. That'll be funny. Anyway, yeah, Star Wars is fucking dead. It's been dead since 20. Did I know that the EBU let Israel compete in Eurovision next year? Nope. Is that a problem? What's wrong with that? Oh, wait, they're not in Europe. That's weird. And that made Ireland, Slovenia, Spain, and the Netherlands quit. That's weird. Israel is not Europe. It's Western Asia. Oh, that's what we call Western Asia. Ah, interesting. So why is Israel in Europe? That's interesting. So all the woke countries quit then. Israel is entitled to enter since it has long been a member of Eurovision, the principal criterion for taking part. Huh. Armenia and Australia are also in Eurovision. Okay, so it's not just that then. So what's the story? They let Israel in because they're a member of Eurovision, and that made a bunch of countries quit. Well, fuck those countries. I don't care. I mean, the Netherlands has been battling its own wokeness for years now. Ireland is up the arse woke. And Australia? I mean, yeah, the people are based, but the country's woke. That's weird. That's weird. Sardok says, my name is Verka Serduchka. Me English nicht verstehen. Let's speak dance. Why are we in Eurovision? That's a good question. I guess because we were members of the organization rather than necessarily actually in Europe. But to be fair, since we're not in Europe either, why are we still letting them decide things for our country? And there we go. Anyway, let's see. We've got another couple of topics, and we'll see if we can get something from that. But there we go. All right, guys. Hope you are interested in the Game Awards because it is coming up. There's a bunch of bullshit surrounding it, and I'm interested to see just exactly how felted this is going to make everybody. Because it might be a bad night for Neil Druckmann, especially because apparently Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet is not going to be showing up at the Game Awards. You might remember the shit show. You might, anyway. You might remember the show that happened some time ago now, when people were speculating over whether Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet was going to show up at the Game Awards. And of course, it all escalated into this silly little thing between Colin Moriarty and a bunch of other journos who decided to take his speculation as fact and attempt to spin a narrative that Intergalactic was getting a trailer at the Game Awards, because it did last year. And no one cared, for the record. No one cared at all. But look who's back from the creative wilderness. Not Neil Druckmann, patron saint of franchise fumbling and narrative malpractice. I'm talking about the other guy. The other guy who directed The Last of Us. Not the show. And not the sequel. The original. The guy who made it a masterpiece before Hollywood brain rot and agenda-drenched storytelling took over. Bruce Straley, the adult in the room during the Naughty Dog glory days, is about to announce a brand new game. And honestly, it already has more credibility than anything Druckmann's churned out in the last decade purely by existing. This is the man who helped build the emotional, grounded, character-driven experience that everyone fell in love with in part 1, before it was ceremoniously executed in part 2 for subversion. So when he says he's cooking something up, I actually pay attention. Maybe he'd get Amy Hennig to work with him again as well, and we could get a new Uncharted. That'd be pretty good. But if anything that is being hinted is worth going by, we might finally be getting a return to actual craftsmanship instead of cinematic self-indulgence. So let's dig into this one. Former The Last of Us director's new game being revealed at the Game Awards. Okay, this one comes to us from Insider Gaming, which is a bit of a Fence City journo site, but they're not offensive with it. So there we go. Bruce Straley's studio, Wildflower Interactive, will be revealing its debut game at the Game Awards. Straley's resume includes creating The Last of Us and directing Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and A Thief's End for Naughty Dog. Now, of course, Druckmann managed to felt the Uncharted 4, Thief's End, by turning his son into his daughter. Now, that's not necessarily a thing to be miserable about. I have 2 daughters of my own, and they're beautiful and I love them. But when the plan was to have a son, and then Druckmann came in with Anita Sarkeesian and turned it into a daughter, that gets my attention, because that is a different story. However, the Game Awards are no strangers to The Last of Us, with Naughty Dog IP winning multiple awards, including Game of the Year 2020 for Part 2. It's not surprising to see why. Last year, Naughty Dog revealed Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet at the end of the show. However, one of The Last of Us's co-creators, the lead creator, Bruce Straley, wasn't there, having left the company in 2017. Another person ousted by Druckmann, much like Amy Hennig, if rumors are to be believed. Pinch of salt. But then we've all seen Neil Druckmann, so it's pretty easy to believe. He started Wildflower Interactive in 2021, an indie studio, but didn't give more information than that. Now fans can expect to see what the studio has been working on come December 11th. So the new game is to premiere at the Game Awards in just a couple of days' time. At the time of recording, of course. We have this video that played. It looks indie-rific, of course, but it also gives off a certain tone with natural sounds and various other things. That, I don't know, am I supposed to compare this to The Last of Us, because it does kind of make me think, you know, the overgrowth and stuff like that. But it could be something completely different. In any case, Jeff Keighley announced the debut title from Wildflower Interactive will be revealed at the show. The video, only 30 seconds long, shows the game's cel-shaded style and a neat wilderness setting. In the back, some dialogue can be heard, including a bear-like roar and some reassurance. No details like the title or release have been revealed, though it's likely to appear during the show on December 11th. Hey, if it's anything like The Last of Us, most people won't care if it's 2D, 3D, AAA looking, or cel-shaded, indie-rific, fair. If it's good, it's good. It's a different era at the moment, guys. More people are giving the indies real attention than really they ever have before. And deservedly so, because AAA is eating itself alive right now with diversity, equity, inclusion, just general irritating wokeness, uglifying female characters, money going in and not coming back out. It could be good. Interestingly enough, Bruce's co-director on The Last of Us, Neil Druckmann, will likely be in attendance. The TV adaptation of The Last of Us second season is nominated for Best Adaptation because Jeff Keighley loves to jerk off and think about The Last of Us, in which Neil helped direct. By the way, no one likes The Last of Us second season. Not even the people who liked the first like the second season. Anyway, Bruce's legacy at Naughty Dog goes beyond The Last of Us, as he directed Uncharted 2 Among Thieves and A Thief's End, which many claim to be the best in the series. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Especially 2. Either way, an ambitious new project with a talented director at the helm is always something to look forward to. Personally, I think Bruce Straley is a person who, as it stands now, you can trust. He seemed to leave Naughty Dog at the peak of Naughty Dog turning into Neil Cuckman's woke factory of cringe. And, you know, just like Amy Hennig before him, he's been pretty quiet. So when he comes to us with something new, people who know what happened with The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2 will be paying attention. And it's for that reason that I, especially since Intergalactic the Heretic Prophet made my skin crawl, I'm pretty damn sure that this will be better than that. So I'm very much up for having a look and seeing what is going to come out in the trailers at the Game Awards, because let's be honest, even though I have weighed in on what I think will win at the Game Awards, and even though I am firmly backing for, of course, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 to clean house at the show, the thing I'm really interested in is to see the indie titles, the indie trailers. That's what I want to see. That and, you know, the occasional AAA that doesn't look like a bunch of woke piss. But that's what I think anyway. You guys should let me know what you think. I'm personally always going to be ready to give Bruce Straley a chance. So that's my take. Yeah, roll on the Game Awards, if only for the trailers. All right, there we go. That was the penultimate segmente. Smegheads is back for another 10 Australian dollars. That is $10 back. 10. Hell yeah. Says to help you get halfway, and yes, that's what she said. But what did she do to help you get halfway? Well, there you go. And we are halfway, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. We will watch the classic. But, of course, if you want the Christmas, we need, what do we need? $47.
I've seen your heart across the screen. Every cheer, every dream in between. You stayed up late. You pressed restart. You leveled up right off the chart. I'll show you something good tonight. A little shimmer in the neon light. You gave your time, your touch, your move. So now I'll show you something good. From velvet skin to crimson eyes, I'm your reward, your sweet surprise. You've been faithful
Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you very much for getting us halfway. If we can get the other half, we will play the new one, the new Hotness. The song is really good. I really, really like the song. Here's a little preview. Oh yeah. All right. We've got one more topic to talk about, and this one is probably the most unbelievable one that I've actually heard, but yet not at the same time. She said, if we could get the other half. Yeah, of course she did. Of course she did. Also, that was 1 out of 5 for the goal. Yeah. So there we go. Anyway, there's a potentially silly thing happening. But we're going to have to talk about it anyway. And it's almost unbelievable, especially given that there's been no announcement in 7 years. No, wait, 9 years for the sequel. But I guess we'll have a look anyway. Hooray, I'm helping. Hooray, I'm helping. I'm having a wonderful time. Thank you, Smackheads. Appreciate you, buddy. Fuck it. Have a Smackhead.
He's a smee. He's a smee. He's a smig. Hey.
Okay. Let's get on. Last topic. We'll need a miracle. Let's get into it. Here we go. This is ridiculous, but we're going to do it anyway. Because here we go again. Here we go again. In news that absolutely nobody asked for, not even the most die-hard cheese wheel hoarding Nords. That should give you a clue where we're going. Bethesda has announced yet another Skyrim port. Yes, 12 years after its original release. The game that just about everybody who's ever turned on a console or installed Steam on a PC has already completed twice. The game that has been resold more times than Todd Howard has said it just works. Is marching proudly over the Nintendo Switch 2, everybody. Yay! Oh my God, because nothing screams next generation powerhouse like running a game originally built for hardware that now qualifies for a senior citizen discount. This is a game from 2 generations ago. 2. It's one thing when they bring Zelda from 7 years ago or 8 years ago, or they bring the sequel from like 2 years ago, and they go, okay, you can have the upgraded version, which by the way is barely noticeable, but you have to pay $10, by the way. Okay, fine, I suppose. It's one thing to do that, but 2 generation old software, remastered or not, they now want a premium price for the Switch 2 on Nintendo's side. And what are they offering us? Skyrim. Bethesda wants applause for reheating leftovers, and Nintendo wants you to fork over hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to play on the Switch 2. And we're meant to pretend that this is some kind of technical marvel rather than the gaming equivalent of repacking cold toast and calling it artisanal. At this point, I'm convinced the Elder Scrolls 6 is either a myth, a tax write-off, just another rehash of Skyrim, or stored in a locked drawer somewhere labeled "Do Not Open, Profits Still Coming In." Let's talk about it. This is unbelievable. I genuinely, even I didn't think this would actually happen. But the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim is being released again. It is 2025, and I loathe the current year argument, by the way. But ladies and gentlemen, it is 2025. And the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim is about to be released for what feels like the millionth time. It's even been a meme before. as they're about to say, Skyrim is available on just about every platform in the world at this point, even the Amazon Echo to an extent. But now you can add another format to the list, because here we go. Yes, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is an exceptional RPG. Well, it was. Yes, Bethesda, everyone knows how proud you are of the game and its legacy. It's at a point now where Skyrim has been ported to every device in the world, making it beyond a meme at this point. One key platform is missing, and Skyrim is about to be released on it. Oh my god. The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim available on Nintendo Switch 2. Yay! Oh my god. Yep, there's my copy there. I own Skyrim. Let's see now. I own Skyrim on PS3. I own it on PS4. I own it on Steam twice. I think that's it. Oh, and my friend does actually own the Amazon version of it, the Echo version. But there's that. So, Jesus. Skyrim. Again. I mean, I've beaten this game twice, right? Once on PS3, once on PS4. Platinumed it twice. And even the last time I platinumed it was in 2018, which was an achievement because I had a PS4 that would barely stay alive. It was the only game I could get to run on it here in the Philippines. And it was an achievement that I had the ability to play a video game at all. Because it meant I had to go back to England and back with my PlayStation. And then my PlayStation died, and I had to buy a new PlayStation to finish that. So it was a double achievement that I managed to get to finish Skyrim in the Philippines, platinumed, unmodded, on Switch, not Switch, on PS4, as well as PS3 originally. But even that was, my God, 7 years ago. How long have I been in the Philippines? My God, my children. Anyway, the Nintendo Switch 2 is welcoming the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim port. The news was confirmed by Bethesda Game Studios on their official X page. Whoopity-doo, Basil. Here's what the company said. I can't believe this. You can almost see Todd Howard. Bring your adventure everywhere with you during the holidays with the release of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim on Switch 2. Available today. Okay. Bring your adventure everywhere with you. Isn't Skyrim already on the Switch 1? Pretty sure. Yep. That's true. That's right. Literally, Skyrim is already on Switch 1. So this tagline is worthless. Absolutely worthless. You can already bring it everywhere with you. In fact, if you have a Steam Deck, you can also bring it with you. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can run it on a phone through some means or another. The Switch 2 release is completely free for owners of the Anniversary Edition on Switch 1. It includes Dawnguard, Dragonborn, and Hearthfire, and comes with Nintendo exclusive content, namely Zelda-inspired gear and armor. So all the stuff it had on Switch. Seriously, I remember when they announced Skyrim coming to Switch, and I remember at that point being mildly impressed. Like, mildly. I remember it. I remember thinking, Skyrim handheld. Now that's a thing, isn't it? I mean, Skyrim was in the trailer for the Switch 1. And it was old then. It was 4 years old then. And now they're putting on Switch 2. We're supposed to care. Cuckoo! This is nuts. Bethesda, where is the Elder Scrolls 6, you fucking hacks? You announced the Elder Scrolls 6 what was it, 9 years ago? Pretty sure it was like E3 2016. It was at E3. There hasn't been an E3 for years. When are we getting Elder Scrolls 6, you sons of bitches? Oh my god. Look, it's even ironic that they actually put this at the end of the article. Are you a reader who somehow never owned a copy of the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim? My god, man. More people own Skyrim than Final Fantasy VII at this point. It's like you might as well, like, even if you've only ever played one game, you own Skyrim. It's like the banjo of gaming. They're just everywhere. This is awful, man. This is so pathetic. Why would you even just drop it? Just drop it and don't say anything. Why don't they put Oblivion Remastered on the Switch too? There'd be more fanfare about that. But there you go. Skyrim is on Switch 2, just in case anybody in the whole world actually gives a tiny shit. There you go, guys. Zelosi says, please keep buying our game. That's it. Buy my game. Buy my game. Buy my game. Rhoda's here for 5 poundingtons of legitimate currency. Says, I must be the only person who's... No. You're having a joke, right? You are having a joke. Surely. You never played Skyrim. The only Elder Scrolls I've ever played is Oblivion. Did like it, if I recall. Well, I've got some good news for you, Rhoda. You could probably get Skyrim for less than you paid me just now. It's that easy to find a copy. They're everywhere. Everywhere. My God. How can you have not played Skyrim? I've got it twice on Steam. Yeah, where is it? I've got, let's have a look here. I've got Morrowind, Oblivion, Game of the Year 2009, Oblivion Remastered, Online, Skyrim, and a Skyrim Special Edition, which was gifted to me. It's so old that even the Special Edition literally only takes up 15 gigs. Actually, now really want to play Skyrim. Fuck, it's really good. That's the thing. It's really good. The only thing I couldn't stand about it were those fucking spiders. They scared the bejesus out of me. The first time I saw one of them, I freaked out. Never did very well with zombies or giant spiders. In a horror setting, anyway. You've never played Skyrim either, Sardok. What the fucking fridge is going on, buddy? All right, let's have a look. Here we go. Hold on. All right. One moment. Keep those super chats coming, guys. Maybe we can get the bar filled by the time I'm done with this. Because I want you to see these new boobies. They're very good. The video's great. I had a lot of fun editing it. But hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. All right. Let's have a look here and get this on screen. Right. We've got Steam Store. No, I'm not logged in. Skyrim. No, well, of course, we're going to have Filipino prices, but whatever. Skyrim. Let's just search. All right, you've got the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition. Do we not have the original? They don't have the original. All right, well, whatever. The Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition launched in 2016. Oh, right, okay. And that is currently available for about $20. You can get the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Upgrade DLC, which goes on what? I don't care about this. Just fucking put me whatever. Okay, when did that come out? 2021. So is this an upgrade to the original game, or? Oh no, you need the special edition. So what does this do? New textures. Man. Weird. But anyway, Skyrim's so easy to break too. All you need is the repetitive loop of like enchanted gear and then potions, and then enchanted gear that helps you make stronger potions, and potions that make enchanted gear that's stronger than the other one. Then you just keep looping that, and eventually you end up basically invincible. But there you go. So you've got that, and then there's VR, and then I thought the original was on here as well. Oh well, whatever. So there you go. You've got Skyrim is available on Steam. It's very cheap. Or I guarantee you could do something else. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's go. Let's go. Straight over here to this website, which is webuy.com, otherwise known as Sex, C-E-X. I assume these guys are still around, probably still have high street shops in the UK. Let's have a look. Skyrim. Search. All right. What comes up? Okay. PS4 Skyrim. £8. Special edition. Xbox One version of the same thing. £4. Switch version, 35 quid available. Xbox 360 Skyrim, £1.50. PS3 Skyrim, £1.50. PS3 Skyrim Legendary Edition, £4. Xbox 360 Legend Edition, 2 disc, £6. Skyrim VR, £3. PC, 12 quid. Fucking hell. They've even got a mint version of the adventure game. PS3 Premium Edition with t-shirt, novel, art and cards and stuff you can get for 60 quid. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of ways to buy Skyrim. You can buy Skyrim for your PS3 for £1.50. So I was right. Less than you paid for this super chat. Amazing. Thanks, Rhoda. All right, that is it, guys. We do not have the bar fill. Oh dear. I guess that's that then. Womp womp. Oh well, that's sad, but it is what it is. Oh well, that's the show. I'm out of content. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? War between land and sea again? That's a shame. $40 off. Oh well, dry day. Where is everybody today? Oh well. How much would X-Men Origins Wolverine for 360 be on there? Really? That? Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Before I go. X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game was pretty good, you know. It was better than the movie. Are we talking about the game? Oh yeah, 360. All right. What we got? What do we got? X-Men Origins Wolverine is 20 quid on Xbox 360. 40 quid on PS3. What the fuck? The movie's 1 quid. You need to do more DSP to get the goal well. Yeah, I do. But I don't feel like being an arsehole to my audience, you know? So it's not going to work. Plus, my audience aren't autists. So, well, most of them aren't anyway. Majors Guild says for $2, someday I must introduce you to 90s interplay. Are you coming on to me? Are you sure about that, buddy?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. This is sounding really gay.
But yeah, no, I know they released the same games over and over and over and over and over and over and over again on everything. But yeah, there you go. That is fucking hell. Why is it so expensive? I don't get it. Is it because it was niche? Because I actually remember playing it on my buddy's PS3 back in like 2008 or something. You probably would have made more if all your segments were taking a shite on Twiblats. Yeah, but if I did, I think people would get bored. There's only so much I can say about the fucking war between the land and the sea. It's just such a dead show. There's nothing to like about it. Oh yeah, Brutal Legend. I played that. I rented it because this was when I was working at Blockbuster. £6. There you go. £6 for PS3. £3.50 on Xbox 360. There we go. Like the smash button. That's right. Dude, like the smash button. Wolverine Jackman takes on a Sentinel. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what else. Give me some other games. Let's have a look. I'm just curious. I can't think of any, though. What about... I wonder if they got any PS1 games. No. Oh, yeah. All right. Doom on PlayStation, £20. I've got that. Spyro, Platinum Collection, 15. Oddworld, the original Abe's Odyssey, £10. Tomb Raider, £6. Medieval, the original, £20. Wow. Some of the games on my shelf have actually appreciated in value. That's fucking crazy. Rayman 2 Great Escape, never played it. Rayman 1, £12. Crash Bandicoot, out of stock. Oddworld non-platinum original edition, with manual boxed, £12. Gran Turismo, original driving simulator, £10. Wow, Oddworld's worth more. Street Fighter Alpha 3, £25. Fucking hell. GTA 2, £18. Whoa. I had no idea there were so many fucking PS1 games that you could buy. It tells you where they are too, the ones that have got them. That's fucking cool, man. What other games do they buy? I mean, you could probably go out with like £100 and pick up some fucking gems. Come on, where's page 2? Wipeout 2097, £15. Tekken 2, £15. Final Fantasy 8, £12. What the fuck? I mean, okay, but there's no way Wipeout 2097 is worth more than Final Fantasy 8. You don't have GTA 2? I've got it. It's not boxed though. I think I've only got the disc. Let me have a... Wait, hang on. Hold on. Boom. There you go. GTA 2, if you please. I don't even remember how I got it. Maybe I bought it. Yep, there you go. Look, disc and everything. Grand Theft Auto 2. I haven't played it in fucking years. Manual in there, everything. There it is. Ugh. Right in between one of the best JRPGs ever and one of the worst. For those who are asking, it's Grandia and Guardians Crusade. Vice City was peak GTA. I can't reach it. It's like the first game on that shelf. Right above there is GTA 3. Have I got FF7? And yeah, hang on. Oh. What's I got? Origins 1 and 2. 6. 7. Original copy from when I was 12. 8. Original copy from when I was 14. 9. Which I still don't really like as much as the others. But I did play a lot. And a platinum copy of 8 apparently because, yeah, someone fucked up the discs on my original. So there you go. I got all of them. And this. Anyone remember this? Guys, the fucking the Squaresoft fighter, which you could play as FF7 characters in. So yeah, got all of them. I wonder if that's on here. That'd be interesting. It actually had a passable dungeon crawler in it as well, where you could play, and you had to like 1v1 the bad guys in the dungeon, but it was a Square game, so how could it not? Let's have a look. Guides. Oh, I fucking spelt it wrong. Oh, it doesn't matter. We got it right. There it is. Ooh. 78 quid. Not bad. What about Suikoden? I bet that's gone down now because you can get it anywhere. No. With manual boxed, 110 quid. That's gone up. Suikoden 2, still 195 quid. Suikoden 5, 40 quid. What about Suikoden 4? 32 quid. Not bad. My collection of Suikoden games is worth quite a lot. That's pretty good. Not bad. What else have I got? Oh, let's have a look and see if this turkey is a disruptor. Oh, it's not even here. That's an old PS1 Doom clone that I had, that I've got, actually. Lots of weird little games like that. I've actually got a copy of Warhammer Shadow of the Horned Rat. What's that worth? 22 quid. Not bad, you know. A lot of these have really appreciated in value. It's weird. What about Super NES? Oh, well, the console, 130 quid. What? Really? I've got one of them in here. Discounted. Oh, because it's yellowed. Yeah, I bet mine probably has. Star Wing unboxed, £4. All Stars and World, 15 quid. Sim City, £5. A controller, 15 quid. No, that's cheap. Wow, what's happened to the SNES? That's madness. That is madness. Oh, there we go. Mortal Kombat, 8 quid. Tetris and Dr. Mario together. I didn't even have that. A Super Game Boy. You can get it for 12 quid. Wow. Wow. A lot of these I've got. What about well, let's keep going. Let's keep going. I want to see. I want to see how these things appreciate in value. Super Star Wars. I've got that somewhere. 8 quid. Mario All Stars, 8 quid. Got that. Got it with my PlayStation. Super Street Fighter 2 original, 6 quid. The Mouse, 10 quid. I've got that because I've got Mario Paint. This is DS shit. Nintendo Switch Super NES controller, £40. What? That's ridiculous. 8-bit Bluetooth retro receiver. So you can have a wireless controller for your SNES Mini. Oh my God. Wired controllers are superior. What is all this stuff? Oh, look, Zelda. A Link to the Past unboxed, 28 quid. I've got the box and the manual. Wonder what that's worth. Super Metroid unboxed, 42 quid. That is amazing. There's a lot of this stuff. Desert Strike Alien 3 on Mega Drive. Desert Strike. Well, let's just search for it. I played the fuck out of that. Oh yeah, the weird yellow car. Yeah, I remember that. 10 quid with the manual in a box. 12 unboxed on Super NES. Well, look, Jungle Strike on Game Boy. 28 quid. Fucking hell. That's crazy. What about Metroid Prime? No, never mind that. What was the other one? Alien 3. I remember watching a demo video that I got with a copy of Mean Machines advertising Alien 3. Alien 3 on Master System, 5 quid. On Mega Drive unboxed, 6 quid. On Super NES with manual inbox, 32 quid. With manual boxed on Mega Drive, 20 quid. There you go. Fucking hell, there you go. There's a whole bunch of bloody stuff. Earthbound. All right, I'm game. How much is that? That'll be worth a fucking mint, I guarantee. Earthbound. Not Eastbound and Down. Earthbound. Can't find it. No. Don't know. Have a look elsewhere. Earthbound prices, Super Nintendo, loose price, $319. Complete price, so with the box and the manual, $2,125. If someone has a brand new copy of Earthbound, $6,800. That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy. That's amazing. Kenny fucking Powers. Yeah, man, I haven't watched that in years. I should watch that again. It was a great show. Anyway, there you go. I think that'll do it. Did we get another super chat? Oh, yeah, no, I already read it. All right, guys, that's it. The show's over now. I got to go. We'll hopefully maybe another time get to watch the Christmas titty video, but it is not today. So that's it. I'll keep that one to myself till later. And hopefully we'll catch you on tomorrow's stream. That would be WTF Live with the boys. We'll be talking about some of the many topics of the day and also probably prepping for the Game Awards because that will be happening less than 12 hours afterwards. In fact, it will be probably about 8 hours after we finish. So there's that. And in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you very much for checking out this episode of HyperDrive Time. It's been a good laugh. And yeah, there we go. And some of the prices of those games are absolutely astronomical and ridiculous. I guarantee I've got one somewhere that's worth a crazy amount. Something really stupid and obscure that I've forgotten about. I've got so many games. But there we go anyway. You'll be late tomorrow because of work. Okay, no problem. But you said you wouldn't be that late anyway. Wasn't it like you'll get there by the time we finish the intros? If you're there in like the first 20 minutes, we'll be fine. You won't miss anything. And either way, it's fine, buddy. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's it then. Take care of yourselves. Have a good one. Thank you very much to the people who donated and filled the bar as much as we did. St. Hugo, Majors Guild a bunch of times. Furious Dan, Rhoda, Majors Guild again, a bunch more times. Rhoda again, a few more times. Sardoc and someone else as well. Paul Thomas Ashworth with the memberships, which we put in the bar. And Smegheads a few times. Thank you all very, very much for your kind contributions. I do appreciate it. Hope you're getting ready to have a very nice Christmas. I'm going to give myself a fucking break now because I busted my ass all day long editing various things and then smashing through the Christmas titty video. So I'm going to go take a fucking chill and I will catch you guys on the next one. Till then, check out the videos, check out the channel, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. And I'll leave you with the credits. Till then, take care, spike your hair, peace. Fuck Nintendo, fuck Disney. Fuck the price of Earthbound. And yeah, that's it. Question everything, respect the fans, check out the Discord, link below. If you do go to the Discord, don't do what somebody did and be a complete dick, because you will get banned. You know who. And I'll chat to you next time. Take it easy.